Previously heard on Chuck and Bo.
Have you guys, by the way, have you ever been on the Tilly Willie Bridge?
I have, yes. How does Tom Hart know about the Tilly Willie Bridge?
Yeah, so the game ended, the final game of the series ended last week, and I just wanted to decompress, roll down my windows, listen to some Tyler Childers, drive around, and I saw the Tilly Willie Bridge on a map, and I went, man, that's where I'm going. I'm going to go check out Tilly Willie Bridge. And I got there, and wouldn't you know, it's just a bridge.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I would resist the urge to drink this morning.
Stop. I'm done.
You said a lot of good things there.
Well, I don't know if I said one good thing.
I met a guy last night. Love y'all to death, Jeff.
You mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to it.
The show of record for Razorback fans.
I'm in my Sunday school, and first thing he says when we hop in the car, he says, "What's heard on the Chuck and Bo
There we
show?"
It's too early for this kind of conversation. I'm still half asleep.
Here are your hosts, Chuck Barrett and Bo Mattingly.
So I get home yesterday. We do the show. I get home.
Yeah?
And I'm, scrolling. And lo and behold, bang, Joe Flacco traded to the Bengals. First person I thought of was Bart. They must have been listening to the show yesterday.
Bart.
Affecting change in the NFL.
Opinion
Yes.
maker, Bart.
Yes.
That's what we do here on the Chuck and Bo Show.
I mean, it's like
affect
just mere
change.
moments after the rage. It's like Joe Flacco.
I don't know how deep in the weeds people are with this kind of information, but Paul Feinbaum's gotten himself in, some issues with his bosses. Gotten himself in a little trouble for talking politics, potentially running for U.S. Senator, state of Alabama. Maybe complaining that he wasn't able to interview the president. All the stuff that gets ESPN a little wonky.
Well, there is an equal time thing you
Yeah.
have to worry about.
And so then there's this question whether he's been removed from ESPN. And it's just a little bit of a thing going on. And so I was just thinking that maybe Bart was making his case yesterday to replace Feinbaum. I
don't think so.
Bart, do you have
Get
political
up and
aspirations? Do you
First
have
take
political
and-
aspirations? Have you thought about running
and
for
that's
office?
another whole thing.
Oh,
Would you
boy.
do it, Bart, if we needed you to? Would you run for office? If we as a state needed you, would you do it? Would you do it out of just
Fayetteville needs you now.
obligation to your
On the
state?
planning commission.
Yeah, I mean, you could be on the planning commission.
I can't turn left
I
out of
would
the parking
consider
lot.
it. I would consider it.
You
There
consider-
we go.
I would
Now we're
I would
talking.
consider
The
it.
planning commission's not a bad start. We
It
could
really
use some
is.
help around here.
Gosh.
Every
that's an
career's
easy
got to
TV
start
commercial.
somewhere. It's got to start somewhere.
We could get that started pretty easily. You and a television commercial. Tired of seeing construction?
Really?
Tired of every time you turn, there's another roadblock.
Have a live shot of one of us trying to, turn left out of the parking lot, just going crazy.
Sweating,
Yeah.
hands thrown up in the air,
A near collision.
honking at an all-time high in Fayetteville. Tired of all these things? I'm your guy, Bart Pullman. I'll make sure you don't have to sit in traffic anymore. Did you move to
Gotta solve
Fayetteville?
problems, man.
Did you move to sleepy Northwest Arkansas to experience this crap? No, you didn't. I'm here. Vote for me, Bart Pullman. Whatever ward I'm in, I'm gonna fix
I have
this.
no idea. I don't even know what ward I'm in.
You can run as an at-large.
2, 3, one of those. I
Citywide.
think.
Surely they have an at-large position on there that everyone votes for.
Can you recreate the way you went off on Jake Browning yesterday, the quarterback of the Cincinnati Bengals?
The hapless Bengals.
That was as good a rant as I've ever heard anybody deliver
It
on
might be
anything.
a little early in the
It
morning.
was from
for
the
that,
heart.
but
That's what made it great. It was from the heart. I would
It's
imagine
hard
it would
to
be hard to
recreate 'cause
recreate
it's
that.
over
Yeah.
now.
Yeah,
It's
it was-
over.
It was fueled by passion.
Like it's over. Like
It was.
Joe Flacco's the guy now.
40-year-old.
Which I
is
don't
he 40?
love.
Is
yeah,
he 40?
He's 40.
Okay.
I don't
There's your
love.
answer.
I don't love Joe Flacco
Yeah.
being the guy, but he is certainly an improvement over Jake Browning.
Well, I haven't seen any of that. I haven't seen Jake Browning throw one pass this year.
You
I
don't
have
need
not
to.
tuned into this. I have not.
You don't need to.
I've not
You
watched
just
it
need to
play
trust
out.
me on that.
Let's do a little quick flashback here. This
Okay.
is Bart yesterday. This is what you would get in politics if we had Bart.
This is your average
On your
city
side.
planning meeting.
On
right
your
here.
side.
Your average planning commission meeting right here.
I don't know that I can subject myself to another Sunday of watching Jake Browning attempt to throw passes.
Do you get on?
Like I mean, he threw three picks last weekend, and they were three of the worst throws I've seen a professional quarterback make.
well, hey, DJ Lagway turned it around. Maybe Jake Browning
No,
can.
he can't. He can't. We have enough evidence to know that he can't. There are better, capable quarterback. Like Send the Giants a 7th-round pick and take Jameis Winston for a few games.
I knew Jameis
We-
Winston
There's no
was
way they
coming
would
out.
take a 7.
Okay, a
It's gonna
6th,
cost more than that.
whatever it takes. Like we got to tread water till Joe Burrow gets back. Our division's terrible. Like just find somebody who's competent.
It's just
Like
awesome.
competent. That's all we
He said,
need.
Can I get a Jake Browning interception prop bet?
Seriously.
So I
You
can
can
make
get
some
rich.
money.
You can
Set
get rich.
it at 1.5. I'll still take the over. The ownership, the front office, the coaching staff has failed. Failed.
That's good stuff, man. I mean, we've got all kind of ideas here
Failed.
now. How about Bart on your side? 5 News. Bart
right,
on
yeah.
your side, where he
Yes.
goes out and, and he
Yes.
talks about just the injustice happening at the local convenience store, or with your water bill.
Or when it rains and the water
electric
backs
bill.
up
Your water
in your
bill's about to go
backyard,
up.
you see that
Yeah.
the ditch
Yeah.
fills up and overflows.
Right.
Bart.
Yeah, you bought your house. You weren't expecting that.
No.
I'm going to battle for you.
That's right.
Call the team that fights for Arkansans.
Bart on your
Better
side.
call Bart. Yeah, this is good. Let's just get it out there today. What do you want Bart to fight for on your behalf? Like, just call in, text the show, and Bart will go off on a particular matter for you. I mean, he affected change yesterday. There's no doubt about it. I mean, it was a mere hour or so after we got off the air that Joe Flacco had been traded.
You get something done about this construction on college, and I'll be a believer, man. I'll be your biggest backer.
How's Jake Browning doing today? You ever consider his feelings in this whole matter, by the way?
He's doing fine. He's making plenty of money.
Okay. Well, I mean, he might be emotions are emotions. Feelings are feelings.
Yeah.
They affect you.
Well,
it doesn't matter
look,
how much money you make.
Right. I mean, but
Is he going to be all right?
I'm sure he's going to be fine. He's a professional athlete.
Sure. he's
Well,
gonna
Joe
be
Flacco's
fine.
40, so he's going to get hurt, which means Jake
Behind the
Browning's
Bengals
going to play
offensive
some
line,
more.
yes.
He's going to get hurt. I mean,
Yes.
Browning's not done.
It's damn near elder abuse.
didn't
Put
Joe
Joe Flacco
Flacco-
behind that offensive line.
Didn't Joe Flacco retire and then came back in the middle of the year last year or something like that, or the year before?
I think he's done it a couple of times now. Yeah.
Well, he's probably going to do it again.
Yeah, after one
He's
game
probably
with the
going to go to
Bengals,
Cleveland and look at this and be like, I'm done too.
Yeah.
By the way, it's 6:09. Good morning. Glad you're here. We're just enamored with Bart. Bart went on that rant yesterday, and I mean, minutes later, the Bengals heard him and said, you know what? He's right.
Well, they listen in Cincinnati. I know they do.
Yeah.
And
We have a big fan base in
yes,
Cincinnati.
I mean the
Chuck and Bo fans.
yeah, I mean the app's big in Cincinnati.
YouTube is far-reaching.
Yes, and I mean it's all over the place from what I hear.
Yep.
So they know Bart.
Yeah.
They know Bart.
That's
Oh yeah, there's that Bart guy.
there is this. I'd just like to
I mean, I
mention.
do have family in Cincinnati.
I know. I mean you're well connected in the city.
I'd like to just tip of the cap to the Bengals for benching Jake Browning and then figuring out a way to trade for a guy who's led the NFL in turnovers.
Yeah, well, you know. Like I said, I
mean,
didn't
Let's
love
not
it.
confuse
He's got more
ourselves with
turnovers
his-
than Jake
I
Browning.
didn't love it. Like I said, I didn't love it. There are a lot of other quarterbacks out there, backup quarterbacks out there who you could have gone and gotten.
Is this the best they can do, really? Is this
no,
the
it's
best they can do?
certainly not. It's probably the cheapest they could do.
What should they have done?
They should have gone and got Jameis. Jameis isn't going to play it down for the Giants this year.
I wonder why that is. Is it because he's old and washed up too?
Jameis?
And I like Jameis,
No.
yeah. But I
No.
mean, if Jameis could play, he'd be playing.
Jameis could at least survive behind the Bengals' offensive line for a few games. I mean,
So this isn't your version of treading water. That's not what you think happened here.
no, I think it's an improvement. Do not get me wrong. It's definitely an improvement.
Anything would have been.
Just about, yeah. Just about.
Well, hey, congratulations. Congratulations.
So I think they took the cheap way out, which is typical Bengals maneuver. But hopefully this gets us through the
Hopefully.
next, couple of months.
Yeah. Well, we don't want to lose you, but
No.
I mean, I do think that there may be bigger causes out there for you.
Well, I think they ought to
Politics.
make him the GM first off, of the Cincinnati Bengals, and then maybe.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine?
I wouldn't. No, I would. I
Hey.
wouldn't last because I wouldn't have the resources to successfully do the job. I'd be doing the job
We've
with
had
both
conversations
hands
like that around
both,
here.
both hands tied behind my back. because the owners don't spend money. So how do you expect to build a team if you can't spend money?
Can you see Bart demonstrating this? It'd be like he'd have handcuffs behind his arms behind him, and to be walking in the meeting room. See this, guys?
Yeah.
See this?
Do I look effective right now?
Does it look like I can do like what I'm supposed to do here? You got both hands tied behind my back, and they just turn around and walk out, demonstrating visually. You guys visual learners? Is
Hey,
that
look,
is that
you
what it
gotta make
is?
a point.
You want to see what you're doing to me here?
You got to make a
Huh?
point.
You ever done that, Chuck?
Yes.
You ever walked into a meeting with your arm like stuck
Well,
behind your
never,
back?
with my hands tied behind my back. Never like that. But that's Bart.
Pittman should have showed up for a press conference like early in the year.
I got
like
one
that.
arm tied behind
Just
my back.
We're doing the best we can.
That's right. Oh, that's funny.
It's like the kiss a pig thing,
Yeah.
where you go to jail for a day and you got to be in there until you raise enough money to get out.
I did that one year.
Yeah, how was it?
It was,
you said 1 year.
Everything you'd expect.
You said I did it 1 year.
I was not their biggest earner. Let me just put it that way. I was not their biggest
Were
earner.
you stuck in there for a while?
Well, they didn't do the jail thing back then, which is good because I spent several days in there. But you're just kind of on your own to raise the money. I think I contributed some of my own money at the end, so I wouldn't be like totally shut out.
Bart reminds me of that lady that like chained herself up to a tree when they were trying to build Target.
No, they were trying to build Kohl's.
Kohl's.
They were trying to build Kohl's, and there was a lady from Elkins somewhere, and she tied herself. She climbed the tree. She didn't tie herself to the tree. She climbed the tree.
Wasn't coming down.
She stayed up there. I mean, for like a month. I mean, it was a month.
Cut the tree down.
Yeah, we didn't have enough trees around here. She wanted to save that one, and I remember that very well. I do.
Anyhow, that's how you affect change. Great job, Bart.
Go climb a tree,
Way to
buddy.
get it,
Go to
yeah.
Cincinnati and climb a
What's
tree.
next on your list? What? Because I know that now you've got to have another one to be satisfied. You got that one.
Well, he's got the taste. He's got that taste.
Get that taste of
he
success.
know he can affect change.
Yeah. Kevin's on the road somewhere. Kevin, good morning. It's Chuck and Bo. What's happening?
Hi. So Arkansas Athletic Department has been self-funded forever. Do you think the university will ever reach their own pocket, or do you think they'll just keep coming up with excuses saying we don't have enough money?
Yeah, I don't know the answer to that. I don't know what's going to happen there. I would suspect that.
Because Virginia Tech realized that they're not getting enough money and having to reach in their own pocket.
It's not working out very well for Virginia Tech right now in football.
Well, they just
did it. That's fine.
They made a move like that. They've got to make a change. So I don't know. Like, there's a lot of red tape there that you got to get through. A lot of bureaucracy that you got to get through.
I mean, the easiest way to peel an onion is with a knife, and sometimes you got to start cutting strings.
Are you in the medical profession? Are you working on a patient right now?
No.
Okay.
Well, we heard the ding.
We heard the beeping.
It sounded like you had a machine working.
Sounded like
the
a
blinker.
a blinker.
Oh, okay.
Strange blinker. It sounded like a heart monitor was going on.
What do you think they ought to do, Kevin?
Yeah.
What do you think they ought to do?
I think, you said the university makes quite a bit of money. I think the university would be able to pull some money out of their coffers just to add to the athletic department, just to get the football department and maybe a few other places where we're not a laughing stock on how much money we're willing to pay out.
Well, yeah, they have the money that they're paying players. I mean, they're completely participating in the rev share. But look, it is an interesting question because of all the money that now you have to come up with to pay players and continue to try and pay the positions that you had in the athletic department. They've cut jobs. They haven't replaced some of them. What kind of pool are you going to have, whether it's Petrino or some other coach for assistant coaches? What kind of pool are you going to have outside of your rev share money to go pay players? And to date, that kind of money has always come from the generosity of others. I mean, let's just call it what it is.
They don't spend their money until they have to.
Generosity of others.
Yeah.
And there is no student fee. That might change, but there hasn't been a tax for athletics that exists at almost every other major athletic department.
See, the people, and I'm guilty of it too. I mean, we all say this. Well, they got to get on this NIL. They got to figure out some ways to make some more money. Well, as we were discussing yesterday, how they make more money at a lot of places is they double the ticket price. And I know prices have gone up here, and to the point of where people just lose their minds. And I get it. I mean, if I was paying it, I would not be happy about it either. But it's still, percentage-wise, it's not the same thing other schools in our league have done. I mean, as I said, Tennessee's tickets are $200 a pop. If you buy a Razorback ticket, it's not going to be a great ticket. It's $200. And Arkansas is not charging that for just a regular seat. So, you talk about raising money and how you're going to do it, but somebody's paying for it. And as you just said, I mean, it's generally going to be based on the generosity of others.
877-377-6963. Happy birthday to Bruno Mars. Working off that $50 million, playing a residency in Vegas. $50 million in casino debt. Paying it off by singing and dancing and a residency
Whatever
in
he
Vegas.
does.
I mean, really? That's what he's doing?
Yeah.
You know the story, right?
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
$50 million.
It's a lot.
That's a lot of money.
$50 million.
That's a lot of money to lose.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, it really is.
Well, he's 40. He's got plenty of time. 6:18, the Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning.
Yeah, what's your point?
You want my point?
Yes, I asked for it. Make
Here's
it.
my point.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Oaklawn is here for when you want real action, and the wait is over. Live racing is back. Every weekend brings big moments, big crowds, and your chance to feel the thrill of a big win. The holiday racing season begins Friday, December 12th, and runs through January 4th. Then the excitement returns with the classic racing season, January 30th through May 2nd. It's racing, it's winning, it's everything you've been waiting for. Oaklawn Hot Springs. Join the fun. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
When it comes to watching games, nobody does it like Walk-Ons. Over 60 TVs at every location, and the food and drinks win. Mouth-watering Louisiana cuisine like po' boys and gumbo, plus fan favorites like the best burger you can get anywhere, and more draft beers and cocktails than you can count. Incredible food, wonderful service, and a viewing experience like none other. Walk-On Sports Bistro. We live for this.
Arkansas's one-stop automotive shop is right around the corner. Fayetteville Auto Park. FayettevilleAutoPark.com. Chevy, Toyota, Honda, Acura, Collision Center, all in one place. And if you're shopping pre-owned, Fayetteville Auto Park has you covered. With so many new cars sold, we always have a great selection of fresh trades. Why settle for anything less than the best? Fayetteville Auto Park, West Showroom Drive in Fayetteville. Proud sponsor of the Chuck and Bo Show.
I love a day or weekend at Big Creek Country Club in Mountain Home. The golf, the people, the hospitality, and the events they host always hit the mark, and members enjoy it all. State-of-the-art practice facilities, food, beverages, a big pool and a snack and beverage bar, tennis and pickleball courts, and they can even book you an exclusive fly fishing trip. There's no initiation fee, and for out-of-towners, a membership is only $185 a month. It's Big Creek Country Club in Mountain Home. It's home away from home. The two best guys in mediocre sports radio.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I've known you for 25 years. I've never seen you hug anybody.
Well, I am a hugger, but just not in this room. Just not here.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
If you went to bed early, like I did, the Yankees beat Toronto 9-6. Seattle beat the Tigers. Toronto's still up 2-1, and so are the Mariners.
MLB playoff updates every day here at 6:23
Brought
on the
to
Chuck
you
and Bo
by.
Show. Brought to you by Chuck.
Yeah.
And he'll be back again tomorrow to do that. If you
right. I
you don't even
screwed
have
it
to
up
pay
yesterday.
attention.
Nah,
you
you
don't
have to
even have
watch.
to bother with it. Chuck's got you covered. That's at least what I'm counting on.
Yeah.
That's going to help me out.
Yeah.
I'll watch a little bit at some point. I think I will at some point. We may get to that.
It's actually been pretty good. I'm not going to sit here and say I've watched every game because that wouldn't be true, but I've watched some, and it's been pretty good.
Who's leading the Ole Miss? If you go pull or the I just gave the answer.
Yeah.
The SEC. Ole Miss is leading the SEC.
Yeah, Ole Miss.
Who's leading the Ole Miss? Lane Kiffin?
Lane Kiffin.
Yeah.
Question?
The Ole Miss Rebels are top of the standings in the SEC. I'm not sure people would have guessed that. A&M, Alabama, Missouri is 1-0 in conference, but Ole Miss 3-0, A&M 2-0, Alabama 2-0. We'll talk to Dario Noka coming up here in a little bit. As Chuck mentioned yesterday, the top two teams in the AP preseason poll are out of the top 25 entirely. Vanderbilt's 1-1. Arkansas is just 0-1 in conference play. They got a chance, Chuck.
I mean, you know.
Is anybody talking about that? Anybody talking about how they got a chance
Probably not the last
to go to
couple
Atlanta?
of weeks. Yeah. But, I mean, it does go to the point that we've made. There's like over half the season
There's
left.
a lot of season
the
left.
worth of the season is still out there. My guess would be when we get to December and January and February, we talk a lot more about the last 7 games under Bobby Petrino than we do the first 5 under Sam Pittman. Because that's just how things work. And that's why I say the worth of the season is still out there. And it's yet to be determined.
7 conference games left for Arkansas. I haven't even thought about it like that.
Yeah.
Not in any sort of positive way, right? You're just like, oh, my gosh, can they navigate this? Is there anything they can do? Can they get any better? Can they win 2 games? And what if they win more than that? By the way, this line at Tennessee has gone down.
What is it now?
Well, it's at 11.5 on ESPN. It's 12.5 at Oaklawn Sports. But there's been movement.
Yeah. There's probably going to be some more movement.
Nationally, there's been some movement.
Neither team's played. Neither team played last weekend. I mean, those. You may see some movement here and there. We'll have the injury reports out later today. It's a conference game, so they got to release those this week. So that'll come out later.
Been a couple
today
weeks
too.
since we've seen that.
Yeah, we've
seen an injury report.
That's right. Not until before the Ole Miss game.
Here's Caleb Wooden yesterday, Arkansas defensive back, on how things have changed at practice, particularly on the defensive side of the ball.
I would say more energy, getting in a good stance. Tackling is emphasized more. Pursuit to the football is definitely emphasized. Just playing as one. I know Coach Petrino, he introduced something called tap the hat. And basically that's when somebody makes the plays, all other 10 guys come and show them love, tap them on the helmet. Basically, just applauding them for making that play.
Boy, it takes me back to
Yeah,
2012.
it sure does.
Tap the hat.
Tap the hat. I've not heard him say feed the studs yet, but that may happen at some point.
Yeah.
It's interesting that Wooden's the one that was talking yesterday because when the change first happened, if you go back and you read some of the quotes from the players, he was one of the ones that was first quoted. I thought that was a little bit unusual because, he's an upperclassman who's played the bulk of his career somewhere else. But, of course, when you stop and think about it, that's about half the team. So, but he talked like a leader is what I'm trying to say. He talked about the things that are going to have to happen with a coaching change. You could tell that he embraced it right away. And it's not a guarantee that you're going to win anything by embracing it right away, but you don't have a chance if you don't. And I just thought it was interesting that he was the one that was so vocal because, at the start of the season, Miguel Mitchell was kind of entrenched in that spot, and Wooden's been playing well and has earned a lot of playing time. And I'll be interested to see how he plays moving forward. It sounds like he's trying to put himself in a position where he can help him.
Well, it's interesting because we don't know what's going to happen. Like, what team's going to show up, right? I'm sort of fascinated.
I feel, you know, that's not as big a mystery to me.
You think they're going to play hard?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think we will
look like.
Well, I would expect them to run to the football a lot better on defense.
I would have won them a game.
Now that sometimes means you're chasing the guy down, and you don't want to do that. But I mean, I think they're going to pursue well. I'm not going to sit here and say I think they're going to hold Tennessee to 20 points. I don't think that. I think Tennessee's probably going to score 30, and Arkansas is going to have to score 35 or 40 to win it. But I wouldn't put it past them. And you know, there is such a thing as a winning edge, and I'm going to be anxious to see if the interim head coach provides the winning edge the way I think he did when he was the head coach back in the day. He was the winning edge many times when Arkansas played, and we all know it. Whether or not he can recreate that, I'm not sure, but I suspect that we're going to see a much different Razorback team Saturday than we did. I know we'll see a different team than we did against Notre Dame.
Dari Noka coming up in 15 minutes. We got to hit a break. You can text, call 877-377-6963. These games can all be seen at Walk-Ons. Any game on television can be seen on Walk-Ons. If it's not on television and they're streaming it, it can be seen at Walk-Ons. Over 60 televisions. Bart, tonight begins the day of football forever.
That's right.
No more days without football.
Until the Tuesday after Thanksgiving.
Until the Tuesday after Thanksgiving.
Who plays tonight?
What a time to be alive.
We've got
Walk-Ons.
On a Wednesday.
Yeah, there's some
Flight
games.
by Yingling.
Yeah, we got games tonight.
There's some games.
Multiple games, Edward.
Anything
Multiple
worth watching?
games. Block your Of course, it's football. Was football on last night? No, it wasn't. Is football on tonight? Yes, it is. It's here tonight. Yeah, see, this is what the Chuck and Bo Show is. You just show up and have coffee with you.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Are your gutters ready for fall? Leaves are coming, and that means it's time to protect your home. At Hogtroff Gutters, they install high-quality leaf guards that actually work. Don't waste money on the cheap guards from big box stores that clog up. And don't get stuck paying triple the price with those big national companies. With Hogtroff, you get the best of both worlds. Professional installation, premium aluminum, and stainless steel guards, as well as a 20-year warranty. Give them a call today to schedule your free inspection or visit hoggutters.com.
Hey, it's Bo, and I want to share something that's completely enhanced my day-to-day life. About a year ago, I started telling you about the Sweatnum Edge. Well, over the last several months, here's what's happened for me. My energy level is completely different. My exercise gains have seen a big jump. My mind is clearer, and frankly, life is just more enjoyable. Now, that's my story. What about you? Search the Sweatnum Edge online and get a free evaluation today. It's made a big difference for me, and I know it can for you too. The Sweatnum Edge. Today's been a strange day.
Yeah, we've had some struggles here. Let's just be blunt. Can we be blunt?
Well, it's 50-50 at best.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
special place. I mean, that's why I'm so fortunate that I was able to come back here, and I think that we've got to get it back to that special place where everybody in the state is behind the Hogs.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
You said a little bit earlier, takes me back in time. It's like it never happened. It's like the 13 years that have passed never happened.
Bizarre.
It's like Petrino's a head coach again. Life's, it just seems like it's like it was back then.
This bizarre. He's already talking about trying to compose himself, knowing that officiating will be awful.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll be that much different. I've been down on the sideline and called plays for years and years. I went upstairs this year. I thought maybe I could get a better look at it. And to be honest with you, get away from the officials and just be able to focus on offense. So I've got to do a good job of just keeping my poise on the sideline and focus on calling the plays and seeing the defenses and really understanding what's going on out on the field.
I like Petrino on the field better. Not that I'm, the one who knows best, but there's been a time or two through the first 5 games where I thought Talon could benefit from him looking him in the eye. I think there's benefit to that. I know people have different views on it, and I've heard, football people say that if I was the OC, I'd want to be upstairs, and I certainly get that. But I like Petrino on the field, and it has nothing to do with working the refs.
We're going to enjoy that, though.
Well, so that can get to the point where it's almost counterproductive sometimes.
Very much so.
I mean, and I think he knows that, and that's why he's saying what he's saying. But I like him on the field. I always have.
Spurrier wanted to be on the field.
Yeah.
Spurrier would he would joke amongst other coaches if a head coach gave up the play calling duties. Oh, he's going to go sit up in the stands now.
Yeah.
Well, ball coach wants to sit in the stands.
Hey, man.
You want to sit up in the box? Okay.
Yeah.
You want to be down here in the sideline? Okay. It's part of there's a thing to it, especially if you're used to being on the sideline. It just feels like you're in the game.
It depends on the personalities involved too. I mean, sometimes if you've got a more cerebral, type offensive coordinator. I'm pulling names out of the past right here, like a Bill Walsh type, someone who you view as a more cerebral type play caller. Maybe upstairs is okay for them, but I think with Petrino and with a lot of good coaches, it's a combination of their acumen, their body language, what they say, when they say it. I think all those things come into play.
Yeah, this is all so different. Like Jay Hayes just came in the building this week. Or was it late last week? He's the new defensive line coach. He wasn't in the building.
So I almost said who?
Yeah, Jay Hayes.
Yeah.
Known Petrino for a long time. He's coached in a variety of different levels of football. I believe at the NFL level as well. And I'm just thinking, how often do you have a coach come in the building 5 games into the season that doesn't know a single player on the team, or you don't think he knows a single player? It reminded me of when you coach kids, like starting in 2nd grade, and they start showing up for practice, and they got helmets on, and you don't know who any of these kids are. And well, you get the tape out, and you put the name on the helmet, put everybody's name on their helmet. So, for 2 or 3 practices, you can't, come here, let me see it. Fred, listen, this is what we need you to do.
Right.
And I mean, imagine that. Now they got numbers and stuff, but
it's like
we gotta get everybody's name on their helmet for a while. As we're, we got 7 games left, but hey, this is our new defensive line coach, Jay.
Hey, Danny Ford
Coach
was here
Hayes.
for 4 years, and he called every player by their number. I mean, everybody, he did. I mean, he watches TV show.
That's true.
Number 43 made a good
personable.
block there. And, I mean, yeah.
Bart
so
likes to do that.
Kind of like that.
Bart does that, but it's a sign of affection for him. He calls you by the last 2 digits of your cell phone.
Oh,
like
well,
33.
Yeah.
21.
Well, I mean, there is, like, players will refer to each other as, like, 1-5 or 08 or
That's the Pullman,
6-2.
the Pullman family thing.
Yeah. And,
last 2 digits of your cell phone.
So,
or is that just the girls you hang out with? 6:40, Dari Noka's coming up next. You want to get some text or thoughts in here, but we'll talk to the face of the SEC network. Look, you're affecting change. Wait till we tell Dari how you got Jake Browning fired.
All right.
You alone orchestrated a trade yesterday.
all I know is Bart disappeared about midway through the second quarter of the Notre Dame game, I knew something was up.
Yeah.
I knew something
you
was
knew
going
it
to
was gonna
happen.
Yeah. And if you looked real closely, he was down there in the tunnel.
Well, that's what I mean.
Hunter's
it
here.
was meeting time.
Yeah.
And I knew when Bart walked out of the room that something was about to happen.
Now if we can just get this dang construction taken care of, we'll all
I'd like to be
better
able
off.
to turn left out of the parking
Yes,
lot.
please.
Is that too much to
Please,
ask?
Bart. Thank you. Today would be great. Chuck has thoughts. I want to have some coffee and let you guys roll for a while. This is going to be good.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Football season's here, and Flight by Yingling is the light beer built for game days. Tastes like a Yingling, but it's a light beer, and only 95 calories. Flight raises the bar for what a light beer should be, and now it comes in a 16-ounce resealable twist-off aluminum bottle and skinny cans. Perfect for tailgates, watch parties, or just kicking back after the game. Pick it up at your favorite store or ask your bartender. Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer.
High school sports in Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley have never had a bigger stage. I'm Melissa Orange, host of the Varsity Vibe podcast, and every week we'll be bringing you the stories, highlights, and moments that matter most to our communities. Don't miss a beat. Subscribe to our newsletter, check out the Varsity Vibe podcast, and follow us on social media for the latest scores and spotlight features. Get it all at varsityvibearkansas.com. Some moments call for more than just a win. They call for unforgettable. At Blakeman's, you're not just buying a diamond. You're creating an experience that starts the moment you walk through the door. Their newly remodeled space is absolutely stunning, and Cafe B has a personal touch you won't find anywhere else. Their in-house diamond expert makes it easy to find the perfect piece for any occasion, and that purple bag, still undefeated when it comes to saving the day. Blakeman's Fine Jewelry. It's more than jewelry. It's your story.
It seems like everything is more expensive this year, but replacing your AC doesn't have to be. If you need to replace your AC this summer, before you commit, price check with Paschal. You can save money and use the professionals to replace your system. Enjoy the peace of mind knowing you chose the best option for your home. Visit GoPaschal.com and with just a few clicks, see how much you can save with the Paschal price check. Paschal Air, Plumbing, and Electric.
Cutting corners is generally a bad idea. And when it comes to roofing, it's real bad. That's why Teamwork Roofing and Construction uses only the best materials, like Malarkey shingles, which perform better, protect longer, and are more sustainable. Residential or commercial. Got a complicated job? They've got the certified crews ready to deliver on time and on budget. You need a roof that's built on quality and powered by Teamwork. Teamwork Roofing and Construction. Log on to teamworkbuilt.com and get a quote today. That's teamworkbuilt.com.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly, local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
I don't need Chat GTP. I've got Chuck GTP.
Amen. The Chuck and Bo Show.
we just say, can we just admit that a lot of these national college football media guys just have no earthly idea what they're talking about? All this stuff that you hear, it doesn't mean anything. It means absolutely nothing. Less now than ever before, I think. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't listen to this show.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Yes, there will be a coach's show tonight at the Catfish Hole, and yes,
it'll be packed.
Bobby Petrino will be there. And yes, it will air along the Razorback Sports Network tonight, and I don't know if there are any seats left or not.
That'll be packed.
It'll be packed.
Or not. I mean, it's gonna
parking will be at a premium.
Nostalgia will be at an all-time high tonight at the Catfish Hole.
He was
Bobby
there for the
Petrino
very first
live.
one. That's how it started.
How
Was
about
with
that?
him.
How about that? Dari Noka joining us, the face of the SEC Network. Dari, Bobby Petrino back at the helm, at least on an interim basis. Thoughts from afar?
Let's see how it goes, man. I mean, I don't know, Bo. The second he was hired as the first of all, good to talk to you guys. But the second he was brought on as offensive coordinator, I mean, my first thought was, all right, he's next, right? I mean, I get it. I understand the passion that a lot of Razorback fans have for him. Obviously, I understand that, and he's had a lot of success as a head coach, and he's got it. You know, he's at a place now where he had a lot of success previously as a head coach. So, you know, I don't know. I'm curious to see what it looks like. I'm curious to see how the defense looks, obviously, with all the changes on that side of the football. But it won't be an easy test against Tennessee. That's for sure. But I'm certainly intrigued. I'm intrigued by what this team looks like with him in charge.
Chances Arkansas runs the table, Dari. Why don't we laugh? I wanted to keep a straight face. I wanted to leave it up for discussion.
Yeah, it's the same. It's the same chance as the chance that Dr. Stephen Shin's name will never again be uttered in the state of Oklahoma. How's that?
Okay.
Well, all right, now, all right. What are the chances they beat Tennessee?
What do you want, the scale of 0 to 100?
Well, I mean, you know, what are your thoughts on that? What are your thoughts on that?
Look, this is a team that was 2 fumbles away, you know, from having one loss, not 3. That does now. They did fumble and all that, and it's been a total, you know, sort of snowball in the wrong direction. So now you got to reset. You draw the line in the scorecard, right? Like, oh, how are we going to play the rest of the round? But no, legitimately, can they show up and give them a contest?
Well, listen, when I draw a line on my scorecard, that means I'm not keeping score the rest of the
Yeah, I'm with you there.
It doesn't work.
Yeah.
It doesn't get any better.
Right. Hopefully, it never gets better. Let's. How about I go 10% chance Arkansas beats them?
Okay.
So you're saying there's a chance?
Yeah, we're saying there's a chance. Hey, there are some big games in the SEC this week. And by the way, you look up, if you just look at the standings, Ole Miss leading the SEC, ranked 4th in the country. How's this shake out? All right. I mean, this week, Texas is out of the top 25. Is Arch still a Heisman candidate? What is in this line in the OU game, by the way, OU Texas is pretty tight.
Well, okay, hang on a second now. See, now I got to change everything. If Arch is still a Heisman candidate, I want to change my vote to 90% chance Arkansas beats Tennessee. I'm going to go 90%. No, absolutely not. No, he's not, and frankly, I don't think Texas is that good. I mean, I just don't think they're very good. They're a disaster on the offensive line. They're not quite a disaster, but maybe just shy of that at quarterback. They're banged up at running back. They're banged up at wide receiver. The one side of the ball we thought was really good got torn up by Florida. That was their defense. I don't know what to think of them, honestly. This is a game Oklahoma should win. I certainly think so. But as far as the league shakes out, man, I don't know. But, man, oh, man, is this fun. You know, like, I think Alabama gets beat at Missouri. I think Missouri's legit, you know, and here they are picked 12th in the preseason. So, you know, you guys agree? You think Alabama goes down a bit?
Yeah, I think Missouri beats them up there. Hey, let me ask you this. Florida beating Texas. You talked about that. Can Florida give A&M a run for their money? I mean, is Florida back, or was that just kind of an aberration there? What do you think?
I mean, I think they're closer to back than it being an aberration. I think that they're really good. They can be. Let me say it that way. They can be really good. But these are the situations on the road at night where they become completely and utterly undisciplined, and they'll commit stupid penalties, and they won't won't get that guy off the field in time before the snap, or whatever it might be. We've seen situations where somebody spits on somebody, although that was at home. But no, this is the test, right? So we saw their offense kind of explode. They were able to run the football. DJ looked good. Dallas Wilson's a freak show as a freshman at wide receiver. Their defense is solid. They have no concerns on that side of the ball. So the defense keeps them in the game. The offense plays, at a pretty good clip compared, even anywhere near what they played the other day. I think they've got a shot. That's what's so frustrating, I think, to Florida fans. And, in this, Billy Napier's still around. Why? Because there are times that they don't ever quit playing for the guy, and there are times that it just all comes together, and you're like, see, this is what it could be. And I think that's what they got Saturday. But the problem is it usually doesn't last 2 games in a row. And so let's see what happens. I'm really intrigued by that game Saturday night.
Dari, how good's OU? You got the Mateer injury situation, the quarterback who is a Heisman candidate.
Yeah.
How's that going to play out, and how good's OU, and how do they fare in this game?
Defensively, they're as good as anybody in the country. And their front seven is unquestionably the best in the country. Their secondary has some ups and downs, but what that front seven does is nobody in the country is doing it. So I think that they're really, really good there. Special teams is again probably top 5 or 10 in the country, and certainly I think the best in the SEC. So they've got a chance there with John Mateer. I think that they're an SEC championship caliber team. Not saying they'll win that, but I think that they're good enough to be in that same conversation. But there are probably 5 other teams in that same exact conversation. So I think they're right there they can be right there anyway with Bama, Missouri, A&M, Georgia. You go down that Ole Miss, you go down that list. I think that they're in that company as long as they have a healthy John Mateer playing and are able to protect him. Which has been up and down in its own right. So everybody's got a flaw in this league. They certainly have their own on the offensive line, but they're so good on defense and special teams, I think they've got a chance.
Dari, when you look at the big rivalry games in college football, I'm not so sure Oklahoma and Texas year after year is not the hardest one to predict. I mean, there have been awful teams beat good teams, and it's just hard to handicap. You're pretty close to it. What makes it that way?
Oh, well, Chuck, I do think you could say the same about Ohio State, Michigan, right? I mean, how many years in a row has Michigan beat Ohio State? You wouldn't, and that followed a long stretch by Ohio State beat Michigan, but many times the team that wins that game isn't as good as the team that they beat, and I think that's just kind of the case here. It seems like a game where wild things happen. The crowd is certainly always a factor. These are 2 teams full of guys that know one another. These dudes, 90% of them know guys on the other side because they were recruited by the same 2 schools. They played together in high school. So many Texas kids on Oklahoma's roster. It just sets up for just kind of really funky things to happen. Chuck, I don't really know why, but I do think we sometimes see this in rivalry games. Yeah.
Hey, good stuff, man. We ran you right into the break with that
Thanks,
one.
Dari.
Appreciate you coming on, as always. Have a great show today. We'll be watching you. Figure out what kind of brand new suit you're going to have on Saturday.
Yeah, right.
Dari Nowkhah.
It'll be a rerun. I'll see you guys.
Face of the SEC Network. Always great to come on with us. A good look at the big Red River game coming up this weekend. A bunch of really close-looking SEC games.
Are you looking for tough, reliable equipment from people you can trust? WT Equipment is your local family-owned dealership with 8 locations across Arkansas. And yep, they're big-time hog fans too. From Bobcat to New Holland, Hustler, Steel, and more, they carry the brands you know and trust to get the job done. Whether it's equipment or implements, WT Equipment has the tools you need, including a full lineup of Bobcat machines built for power and performance. Stop by your nearest WT Equipment today.
Chevy of Fayetteville has over 200 new vehicles on the lot right now. So if you're in the market, now's the time to make a move. That includes the brand new Chevy Traverse, the Chevy Trax, and all the favorites like the Tahoes and Suburbans. And for truck lovers, there are Silverados in stock and ready for immediate delivery. So go see Chris, Mark Denver, and the team at Chevy of Fayetteville. Together, let's drive.
Man, there's nothing like a perfect steak. So tender, juicy, and packed with flavor. And now, thanks to Plainview Beef, it's clean with no hidden chemicals. Plainview Beef feeds their cattle with wheatgrass sprouts, and their beef is loaded with nutrients your body needs. I'm telling you, you gotta try it. PlainviewBeef.com. Order direct to your house. Check out their menu, which includes 6 8-ounce fillets for just $99. Again, it's PlainviewBeef.com. Use the promo code Chuck and Bo and get a free 12-pack of beef sticks. PlainviewBeef.com.
The voice of the Razorbacks is Chuck Barrett, and he chose McDonald Eye Associates for his recent cataract surgery.
I went to McDonald Eyes. I can see in a way I've not seen in a long time. And I'm looking forward to this football season because of that. Your eyes are a big deal. I don't care if you're a sports play-by-play guy or what you do. You have to have trust. My trust was developed because I knew they were listening to me.
For your best vision, trust McDonald Eye. Online and same-day appointments at McDonaldEye.com.
So I spent yesterday. You mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to it.
The Chuck and Bo Show. Previously heard on Chuck and Bo.
I put the old Keurig on, hit 10 ounces strong because I gotta have the strong button.
That's true.
And if you're drinking coffee, man, you need to actually
Go all the
drink
way.
coffee.
Go all the way.
Like, when you could see through the coffee, like if you were to put coffee in one of those glass
That's
mugs
just brown
and you
water.
could see through it,
Yeah.
that's disgusting.
That's horrible.
I mean, if you could see through a clear coffee mug through your coffee, you might be a bad person.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I would resist the urge to drink this much.
Stop. I'm done.
You said a lot of good things there.
Well, I don't know if I said one good thing.
I met a guy last night. Love y'all to death, Jeff.
You mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to
The show of record for Razorback fans.
Driving my son to school, and first thing he says when we hop in the car, he says, "What's heard on the Chuck and Bo Show?"
It's too early for this kind of conversation. I'm still half asleep.
Here are your hosts, Chuck Barrett and Bo Mattingly.
Bobby's, done it at a really high level for a really long time. Has done it inside of the scope of this league. It's a good football team. I said that at the very beginning of this press conference. They've played well. They've maybe been on the wrong side of the scoreboard here a little bit, but it's a really good football team. And I think for everybody inside of that program, you understand that, man, we're going to get their best, and their best is really good. So we got to get prepared and go play really good football.
Boy, if you want to feel good about yourself, just listen to the opposing coach each game week. I mean, they'll have you as the best 1-11 team in college football if it comes down to it. I mean,
Heupel's done a good job
good about
there.
anybody.
Heupel's done a good job there. He's kind of brought him back from the dead. And you think about this year's team when everybody talked about Nico leaving, and Nico is a good player. I mean, we saw in the UCLA game Saturday when they beat Penn State. I mean, he is a good player. He's easy to jump on, but Heupel's done a good job this year because a lot of people wondered what they'd be like after he left.
Arkansas and number 12 Tennessee in Knoxville. It'll be packed. It's the Vols' only home game of the month of October. The only time they play at home in October. Currently a 12.5-point favorite at Oaklawn Sports. Started at 14 or 13.5. Now it's 11.5 on ESPN. So interesting that Arkansas has gotten some action.
I'll bet it comes down another point. I'm sure it'll be double digits still at kickoff, but I'll bet it comes down another point.
The final Arkansas basketball schedule is out with tip times. We'll get into some of that. Bobby Petrino at the Catfish Hole tonight.
Yep. 7 o'clock.
Razorback football live. Bobby Petrino
It's going to be
live
packed.
at the Catfish Hole. It'll be what a time. I'll be listening at 7 with Chuck. Actually, I think I'll be somewhere else. I don't think I can listen. I'll catch it on demand. Or does it exist
You'll be
on
with us
demand?
in
Let's
spirit.
get it on demand.
Yeah.
It's on demand.
It's a Hogs
Plus.
Hogs Plus deal.
Plus.
It's a Hogs Plus
There
deal.
you go.
Man.
Michael is in Atlanta. Michael, good morning. You're on the Chuck and Bo Show.
Hey, good morning, guys. I apologize in advance. I got a couple questions for you, but I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. So I read an article the other day, and I think it was either Yahoo Sports or USA Today, or honestly maybe something off of that, about how Arkansas being, I guess, our roster, we're like dead last or close to last in the SEC as far as how much we're spending. I don't know the accuracy, but I was curious of your thoughts on that or knowledge, along with concession prices actually rising to help cover some of these costs, and nobody's buying anything. And then the last question was, how did someone, like Ole Miss, obviously they got great coaching, get the players, and we can't, but yet my assumption is our basketball team was able to, and again, you may have already addressed this, and I apologize, and maybe it's specific, somebody saying, here, this money's for basketball, but just curious so that we can be competitive again, and I appreciate it.
Yeah, well, it's money. I mean, Ole Miss has, and I think people mistake this all the time, in the Deep South and the SEC, before we ever had NIL, before we ever had rev share, you had players getting paid. And that's just been historically something that has happened in this league. And you have people that really care about football, and they're really determined to win at football. And that doesn't mean they're always getting it right. I mean, Auburn's had plenty of losing seasons or seasons that weren't that great, and Alabama's had them before Saban, and LSU's had them. But, Arkansas has to, in my opinion, get organized all the way across the board when it comes to financing their football program. And they did that in basketball. And on just the surface level, it's really easy for everyone to understand that you've got a guy like John Tyson. John Tyson gets others together that want to help. They agree they want this kind of coach. He's friends with this coach. They can get this coach. This coach comes in. He has all these demands of things that he has to have to win. They get it all done, and away we go. Well, that's just like so unicorn. I mean, it just doesn't happen for all of those things to come together. And that kind of did happen at Ole Miss with Kiffin. I mean, Kiffin was able to go in there and was able to have the ear of the people he needed to have, and Keith Carter, the athletic director, and whomever the names are that run all their fundraising, and they were able to pull all this together. I mean, it's a little bit of what happened with Arkansas and Cal here. That's the football version. Also, a bit of a unicorn situation. But wherever they go next for the head coach, in my opinion, whether it's Petrino or they get someone else, that coach is going to want these things. And it's going to be hard to entice or be attractive to certain candidates without having those things. But getting the right candidates, whether it's Petrino or someone else, and those things connected is how you win in football.
Yes, you're right. And, when you look at Arkansas's situation right now, Petrino's talked about how he wants the job. If you read the articles, if you read Chris Lowe's article particularly, he has begun to line up, what I would call the major boosters. I saw where John L. Hunt was quoted.
Yep.
That's when you look at what happened in basketball, all this stuff happened behind the scenes, but all the power players got behind the John Calipari hire. You're going to have something similar happen in football. You talk about unicorns. Look at the last two big home run hires Arkansas has had. Calipari, we talked about that. That was because, at least in part, of his friendship with John Tyson. Petrino less than 24 hours before he became the Razorback coach, he was coaching on Monday Night Football for the Falcons. That, I won't say it just fell in their lap, but it kind of fell in their lap. And so you want to talk about unicorns.
It did fall in their lap.
Yeah, both those hires had a unicorn feel to them. But when you think about it, this is the first time in football that Arkansas has had a chance to get the money lined up before the final hire is announced. They didn't have that luxury when they hired Sam Pittman. Nobody wanted the job. It was down to Pittman and Barry Lunny Jr. You weren't going to have a bunch of boosters coalesce around either one of them at the time. Arkansas had, what they lost? 22, 23 SEC games in a row? It was terrible. As bad as it seemed a couple of weeks ago, it was far worse then. They didn't have a chance to get the money lined up because nobody wanted the job. This time, at least with Petrino, there's a chance to get some money lined up. Now, there may be another candidate out there. There may be multiple candidates out there that they can get the money behind. But it's got to happen before the fact. It's got to happen the way it did with Cal in basketball. It's got to be lined up when he walks out there on that stage. Cal wouldn't have come here if it hadn't been lined up. He wouldn't have even considered it. And neither of these coaches everybody's clamoring for in football. They're not even going to think about you until you've got all that stuff lined up. This is the first chance Arkansas has had to do it in football. We'll see how they do.
Yep. Let's go back to the phones. Brent and Searcy, you're up. Good morning, Brent.
Good morning, Chuck and Bo. How are you guys this morning?
Brent. Doing great, man.
I just got to tell y'all, I just got back into town from yesterday. I was at the Rogers High School giving Jeff Regan, the coach and the C.R. Crawford coaches and C.R. Crawford Construction Coaches of the Mouth Player of the Week. And I was with the school.
Say that again, Brent. Just the way it rolled off your tongue. Say it again.
Say what?
The way you named the Player of the Week with the sponsor and all that. The way it rolled off your tongue.
Oh, say it again?
Yeah.
I was in Rogers giving the C.R. Crawford Coaches in the Mouth Player of the Week to Jeff Regan.
I got you. All right.
Was that good, Chuck?
No, it was great.
I got a future in radio.
I didn't say that.
You owe us $45, but yeah.
I was going to say. That ting was that noise
anyway,
was
Rotary Club would have kicked you out.
Yeah, that's right.
Right. You know how I roll, and of course I had a school board member from Rogers with me, right? I only roll with the higher rollers.
Yeah.
And her son's girlfriend asked her, she said, Courtney asked me last week, she said, is Brent really real? She said, oh yeah, Brent's real. There is no doubt about it. But I just wanted to tell everybody how much that's listening. I hope somebody from Rogers High School is that really enjoyed my time over there with Coach Harbison. And they've got a big game Friday night, Rogers versus Bentonville West. That'll be a showdown right there.
Yeah. They're both having good years.
Can I ask
Varsity Vibe Arkansas for all your high school needs.
Are you guys competitors? Is Varsity Vibe and Coaches in the Mouth? Are you guys competing? Is that what's going on right here?
No.
Lindsay Management Player of the Week we mentioned yesterday.
No, we're not.
I feel a sense of competition.
We're not competitors.
VarsityVibeArkansas.com. Varsity Vibe AR. Hey Russ, there's some Plainview beef right there. Wow, that's a home run.
Can I ask one more thing before I go? I was fascinated by that call from Atlanta that just came through about how do we get the money lined up. Our athletic director has to be proactive instead of he needs to be ready, fire, aim instead of ready. He needs to ready, aim, fire, and he needs to get things right before because this is the biggest hire he'll ever make at Arkansas again, and if he doesn't get this one right, his days are numbered. So please, Hunter, get the money right where we can have a competitive football program and bring in whether it's Coach Petrino, whether it's bring in a high octane coach. That's all I'm asking.
That's all. There's Brent and Cersei.
Thank you, Brent.
That's all he's asking.
Thank you, Brent.
It took us a while to get there.
Yeah.
Well, he wants a high octane coach. That's all he's asking. We're about to have some high octane right now. Look at that. Do you see that? Do you see what just happened?
No.
That's Russ from Plainview.
Oh yeah,
taking his son to school.
Yeah, I saw that.
Delivery.
Is that beef sticks in there? What's in there?
Oh yeah,
I thought it was a pack of
You're about to
cigars
have
when he
your-
walked in.
You're
Man,
about to
then I
have
saw
your first beef stick, Chuck.
All right. I can't wait.
Plainviewbeef.com. Chuck and Bo, use that as a code when you go order your fillets or anything else. The cleanest beef you're going to find anywhere. Better protein, better creatine. They don't use any of the junk preservatives. This is clean beef.
You want me to read just some of the things on this package?
Toss me one of those, Edward.
These are the Plainview beef protein steak sticks, 100% grass-fed, sprout-finished beef, naturally fermented with probiotics, no added citric or lactic acid.
Bang.
Bang, bang,
That's what I'm talking
that?
about. Plainviewbeef.com. You can get 6 8-ounce fillets for $99. They got ribeyes on there and New York strips too. Yeah, you saw what I did to that box, right?
I did.
There's nothing left in that. Plainviewbeef.com. Go online, make your order today. Use Chuck and Bo as a code, Chuck and Bo, and get 12 free beef sticks, 8 to 12 grams of protein. Great snack, and it's clean. Good morning. More calls coming up. Brent, thank you. That was awesome.
I know this is an audio medium, and I shouldn't just shake my head, but words fail me.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Some moments just call for something unforgettable. At Blakeman's, you don't just buy a diamond. You create an unforgettable experience. Their newly remodeled space is stunning with Cafe B right inside and their in-house diamond expert that'll help you find the perfect piece every time. That's just part of the Blakeman's experience. When you see the purple bag, you know it's something special. It always saves the day. Blakeman's Fine Jewelry. It's more than jewelry. It's your story.
Are your gutters ready for fall? Leaves are coming, and that means it's time to protect your home. At Hog Trough Gutters, they install high-quality leaf guards that actually work. Don't waste money on the cheap guards from big box stores that clog up, and don't get stuck paying triple the price with those big national companies. With Hog Trough, you get the best of both worlds: professional installation, premium aluminum, and stainless steel guards, as well as a 20-year warranty. Give them a call today to schedule your free inspection or visit hoggutters.com.
There's simply not a better shopping experience than Macadoodles. Looking for the best selection of beer, wine, and spirits? Macadoodles or Guess Who in Bentonville has you covered. With an unbeatable selection, amazing prices, and service that's unbeatable, they've got everything you need. Whether you're stocking up for a party, updating your bar, or just grabbing your favorites, Roger and the team are always there to help. Make the smart choice. Macadoodles, just north of Bella Vista at the state line, and Guess Who in Bentonville.
High school sports in Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley have never had a bigger stage. I'm Alyssa Orange, host of the Varsity Vibe podcast, and every week we'll be bringing you the stories, highlights, and moments that matter most to our communities. Don't miss a beat. Subscribe to our newsletter, check out the Varsity Vibe podcast, and follow us on social media for the latest scores and spotlight features. Get it all at varsityvibearkansas.com.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
You hear that? You hear that?
Back to Safe Sports Radio.
That's special.
We're running out of time for the fall foliage.
The fall what?
Foliage.
Okay. Is it foliage or foliage?
It's foliage.
Foliage.
It's three syllables.
Foliage.
Foliage.
Foliage. It's foliage.
Foliage.
Yeah. Foliage.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
What do you think?
Well, it's not bad. It's really good, as a matter of fact.
You said it's not chewy.
Like you buy your your convenience store.
Yeah, like a
beef jerky, stuff like that.
Chewy.
It's chewy.
You got to work on it.
Yeah, exactly. And
you gotta like bite it and like pull
yes,
with
exactly.
your hand.
That's exactly right.
Yeah. Cause an accident.
That's right.
Yeah.
This is not like
driving. No, this is like
it's like the fillet of beef jerky.
There you go.
It really is.
It is Plainview beef protein, man. 100% grass-fed, sprout finished, regeneratively raised beef. Oh man, I did that went down.
It tastes
fast.
good. It tastes good.
It does.
That's
taste
the
good.
bottom line.
It's gone.
I mean, it tastes good.
Clean. It's not chewy. Plainviewbeef.com. If you make an order today, the steaks are incredible. I'm telling you, juicy, tender, flavor. Like, I got mine and didn't even have a lot of time to, like, thaw them out. Wanted to eat them for dinner that night.
Mm-hmm.
So, you're like hot water, and let them sit in there so you didn't have, like, a long time to marinate them. I mean, it was like I marinated them for 3 days. And it's just perfect. I mean, I'm being honest. Like, if you don't try it, that's on you. PlainviewBeef.com.
Yeah.
If you don't try it, it's on you. Bart, I can't wait for you to have a bite of that and talk about it because I know what you're going to think. Chuck's excited. Chuck's going to have another one, I guarantee you, before this segment's over.
I'll probably stop at one. But it's good. I like it.
That's, how
I'm
much
anxious
healthier.
to try the steaks.
Do you know how much healthier that is than a kolache?
Well,
and you're still getting your beef.
Yeah, well, that's true. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. When I go buy beef jerky, I'm not thinking healthy. I'm thinking, does it taste good?
Yeah.
Seriously.
That's fair.
Seriously.
I understand that.
If this tastes good.
Yeah.
And the bonus is you're not putting all that crap inside you. But the bottom line is you're not going to buy it if it doesn't taste good.
That's exactly right.
Somebody can say this is the healthiest thing in the world. It doesn't sound very good to me.
That's an excellent point.
And it tastes good.
And you're like, oh, it's so good. It tastes good. No, it tastes like trash, but it's good for you. No, this tastes great.
No, actually, that's right.
And it's good for you.
That's right. Lots of times it's like, well, this is good for you, but it's not really that. It doesn't taste that good.
Our friends.
This tastes good first and foremost.
PlainviewBeef.com. Chuck and Bo, and you get these steak sticks we're having right now for free. When you use the Chuck and Bo code. Just Chuck and Bo. Those fillets are great, man. I'm sure the ribeyes and the strips are too.
It's what I keep hearing.
I know. 877-377-6963. The basketball schedule's out, okay?
I was looking at it.
I have it right here. So what I noticed right away on behalf of Chuck is there's 4 8 games at night.
Yeah, 2 of them are at home. 2 of them are on the road, I think. That's the first thing I look at is the tip-off times for midweek games on the road because that affects how I feel when I get in here, and it is all about how I feel. Ole Miss is at 8, but that's a short trip. We got some home games at 8. I hate 8 o'clock tip-offs. Oklahoma.
5 total on the schedule,
Yeah.
4 in SEC play, and then a game against Queens University.
Yeah.
Let's go through the SEC schedule real quick. Do you mind?
I don't at all.
Okay. Home against Tennessee to open SEC play. January 3rd, Bud Walton. Back-to-back road games at Ole Miss and Auburn. Then South Carolina at home. At Georgia, Vanderbilt. LSU, at Oklahoma. Ooh, January 31st. 5:30 on ESPN. Kentucky.
Saturday game.
Bud Walton Arena at 5:30 on a Saturday afternoon. At Mississippi State, at LSU. A couple of back-to-back road trips there. Auburn, at Alabama. Missouri, Texas A&M, at Florida. Ooh, that's going to be a tough one.
That's going to be a showdown game.
Oh, wow. Texas, at Missouri. That's the hope you wrote all that down while you're driving.
It'll be a test here in a minute.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then, of course, the non-conference. We've talked about that a lot. But they're playing Houston right before Christmas and Newark, New Jersey.
Go to Michigan State, second regular season game. Second game. You're in East Lansing, Michigan, to play Michigan State on a Saturday night.
Yeah, they got the exhibition games against Cincinnati and at Memphis.
That's an 8 o'clock
They
game.
play Duke November 27th in Chicago.
That's a night game. Night game. 7 o'clock game Thanksgiving night.
How about that? And then Louisville at 6 o'clock in Fayetteville on December 3rd. Texas Tech rematch in Dallas on the 13th. I mean,
That's
An
at
11 a.m.
11 a.m.
tip-off.
Yeah, that's the first thing.
How do you feel about basketball at 11 a.m., Bart?
Boo.
Can you imagine if Bart
Basketball's
lived on
not
the
a-
West Coast? What I hear is Bart could have hit it pretty big, but he had to move to L.A. And he wasn't okay with watching, football games at 9 a.m.
NFL games come on at like 9 in the morning.
Yeah.
College games come on at 8.
Yeah.
I mean, he can't do that.
He's watching game day at like 6 a.m.
Yeah. I mean, you can't do that.
No thanks.
Can
Plus
you
the
imagine?
traffic.
Like all
And
this
so
hate
Bart
that you
turned
give on-
ABC down as a result of
Yeah,
that.
so-
ABC,
The
no.
traffic.
Yeah.
Can't
Listen,
do it.
Yeah.
Sometimes we just we undervalue the quality of
That's
life.
right. Quality of life's
You
important.
take the money, you go for the paycheck, and you don't value the quality of life.
when you're sitting in traffic for 2 hours.
Hog fans and Rogers. Hog fan, good morning. You're on the Chuck and Bo Show. What's on your mind?
Hey, good morning. Thanks for taking my call, guys. Always enjoy y'all's show. If I don't catch you in the morning, I catch you on YouTube and listen. So, just one question here. I don't understand why we're not locking in Petrino and making him the head coach, making him the guy. How many coaches have come into Arkansas and went to a BCS bowl? Petrino has come here to this school, to this college, and got it done. Lock him in, make him the head coach, and every other coach that we're thinking about bringing in here is just a shot in the dark. We don't have any idea. Petrino's been here, and he's done it. I don't understand why we don't lock him in.
Well, that's what gives him an inside track to the job, I'll tell you that. I mean, he's in the seat right now. You now have to remove him from the seat. And he's got an uphill climb because, you're jumping on the horse midstream here, trying to get it across the water. You'd rather have picked your own path and had a plan and had it exactly the way you wanted it if your future hopes are pinned on that. But this is the opportunity he has. He's in the seat. What can he do with it?
They're in kind of, and by they, I mean the ones who are ultimately going to make this decision. They're kind of in a catch-22 spot. I mean, they want to hire the best coach available. Maybe Bobby Petrino, may not be. But I know that the majority of our fans today are at the very least intrigued by the idea of Bobby Petrino being the coach here long term. They're at least intrigued by that possibility. Not to say that they're for it, but they're intrigued by that. And obviously it's going to be determined by what happens on the field, though.
I want to ask, I'm being completely serious when I ask this question. What makes people, and I'd love to hear from people on this, what makes people assume that it's just going to be the way it was? Right? Why is everybody
because
think
that's
the past
what we
is
believe
just
as sports fans.
Going to repeat itself?
That's what we believe.
Because
all right, well, let's open it up.
Because this league is different.
Yeah, we'll ask
the
people.
game is different. Frankly, Petrino's record as a head coach and a coordinator over the last decade isn't what it was previously. So I want to know why do you think that it's just going to come, that he's just going to come in and it's going to be the same?
877-377-6963.
I just have a hard
Call
time
or
believing
text
that.
and we'll get into
And
it.
maybe it would be, but
for the same reason when a team pulls off an upset on Saturday, people say, well, they ought to be playing that way every time. They just assume when something great happens, it's going to happen over and over and over again.
Hey, by the way, perfect time to tell you, Bart, since you're asking questions. If you want to pop the question, you should go to Blakeman's this weekend. If you got a pending engagement that you haven't told us about, Bart.
Purple bag?
Bridal weekend.
I don't, but that's where I would go.
It's bridal weekend featuring new engagement rings. And when you do go to Blakeman's, you do have an expectation because it is going to be the same every time. And it's going to be just like it was last time or maybe better. They've got diamonds, loose diamonds, wedding bands. If you're looking to custom make an engagement ring, if you're currently ring shopping, this is the opportunity to shop and learn from the top designers they have. Their top design partners will be there this weekend at Blakeman's. Friday, 10 to 6, Saturday, 10 to 5. Blakeman's Fine Jewelry, 3202 South Pinnacle Hills Parkway in Rogers. Cafe B, get you a latte, get you a Prosecco, and join Blakeman's for the bridal weekend on Friday and Saturday. Back in a minute with your calls at 7:30 on the Chuck and Bo Show. You're right, Chuck. You're right. You're right.
You're not wrong, Chuck.
Because that's we don't all want I wanted to hear. That's really all I wanted to hear.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Are you looking for tough, reliable equipment from people you can trust? WT Equipment is your local family-owned dealership with 8 locations across Arkansas. And yep, they're big-time hog fans too. From Bobcat to New Holland, Hustler, Steel, and more. They carry the brands you know and trust to get the job done. Whether it's equipment or implements, WT Equipment has the tools you need, including a full lineup of Bobcat machines built for power and performance. Stop by your nearest WT Equipment today.
Truck Month is here at Chevrolet of Fayetteville, and the savings are big. Get up to $12,000 off new Silverados, up to $8,000 off Chevy 2500s, and up to $5,000 off Chevy Colorado. That's real money back in your pocket. Plus more inventory, more discounts, and better service than anywhere else in Northwest Arkansas. Stop by today and see Chris, Mark, and Denver at Chevrolet of Fayetteville. Chevrolet of Fayetteville. Together, let's drive.
Know what else makes you an Arkansas Razorback fan? Going to the University of Arkansas. How about playing football for the team?
The Chuck and Bo Show.
love the game of football. I love the University of Arkansas and the Razorbacks and being back in the state. And I was asked if I would want to come back and serve as the interim head coach. And I felt, like it was my duty to do that.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Here's what I want to see, whether it's Petrino, whether it's somebody else. High school baseball has grown under Dave Van Horn as the head coach of the Razorbacks. High school basketball soared past high school football in Arkansas some years back. Part of that is because of the coaches that the Razorbacks have had. When Eddie Sutton came in as Arkansas's basketball coach years ago, he changed the way high school basketball coaches in Arkansas coach the game. When Nolan Richardson came in and coached the Razorbacks in basketball, half the high school teams out there and everyone that had the players to do it was pressing full court and playing 40 minutes of hell. They changed the way the game was coached. We've heard people complain the last 3-4 years, in-state recruiting sucks. Well, there's just not an abundance of talent in-state right now. I would like to see someone come in who makes football cool again, who grows the game. Not just at the collegiate level, but at the high school level. High school football in our state, there are parts of our state where it's really good. There are parts of our state where it's really not. And that's got to be fixed. Some of that's got to be fixed through the legislature in Little Rock. There are real changes that have to be made. And we need a personality that is strong. We need a person. I'm not talking about recruiting high school players. I'm talking about changing the way high school football produces players in our state. There's not enough of them. I don't know how else to say it. You got the best kids in Arkansas playing basketball as opposed to playing football. Why can't they play both? Why can't they do both? Because in large part, football is not cool right now. And we got to change that. I mean as a state. And I know I'm kind of rambling. There may be people that disagree with me on that. But you've got to have a strong personality, a strong one, like Cal is in basketball. You don't win with small personalities. You got to have a big one. And that's what I'd like to see.
That's the job.
Whoever it is.
That's the job. I think what you're describing is the job. I mean, the job is not to just come in here and be the head football coach. The job is you got to change it. You got to fix it. Your job is to raise money. The job is to go out and connect people, the right people.
You have to have all that in the modern era. And you can't just have a good coach.
That's right. And what you just laid out is another component of all of that. It's not just come in here and, hop on the jet, and fly around and try to get, some recruits. We got to do it differently here. And there needs to be we got a little bit of a reset going on right now. There needs to be a little bit of a bigger reset across the football landscape of our state and how it's viewed.
It's got to happen in a hurry, unfortunately.
Yeah. But that's what Houston Nutt did when he came in. He was fortunate that he had good enough players that if they believed that they could win, they could win. And he was the perfect fit to motivate them. But that's not all he did. He got people excited. He got spring football going in. We didn't have spring football, Chuck. We didn't have
football
high school
was not a
spring
year-round
football
sport.
Practice.
Yeah, it was not a year-round sport. Houston Nutt in his first couple of years is as close as we've come to coming in and just kind of changing the way football, particularly high school football, was viewed, especially in Little Rock. And guys, we need Little Rock to produce players. By we, I mean the Razorbacks. We need Little Rock public schools to produce players. But I'm going to give you an example and Petrino benefited from this when these kids from Warren came up here. Football's cool in that town. You're not anybody unless you play football in Warren. You can't get a date. You're nobody if you don't play football at Warren. And there needs to be more towns like that in our state. But football's got to be cool. Football's got to be what kids want to do. And for a variety of reasons. It's not just the fact that the Razorbacks haven't been good. There's a lot of societal things going on right now. But for a variety of reasons, football's not cool in the small towns in our state anymore. And you've got to have a personality that changes that. And I know that has nothing to do with X's and O's. But
it has everything to do with winning here.
I think it's being a steward of the game. And I think that's how you grow the game, and I think that's how you get good.
And before you come in here with the transfer portal conversation, yes, that's part of it.
It is. It's
It
a
is
big.
part of it.
We're a portal school in many respects, and that's not going away.
But the other part of this is also true. You got to have some players that do come in, know what it means to play here, know what it means to want to be here, and want to stay here. Press in Fort Smith, you're up next. Chuck and Bo, good morning.
Good morning. How are you guys doing today?
Doing great. How are you?
Man, I'm doing awesome. Kicking this week's butt, I'll tell you that.
Attaboy. How about that? There you go. Kicking
Come on.
this week's butt.
Yes. I have a couple comments. You know, I enjoy you guys' show every morning on my commute to work. I go from Fort Smith to Little Rock, so I got a lot of time to listen to you guys. A couple things on the conversation you just brought up. I think AAU has expanded in the last decade, which allows basketball players to play competitive basketball year-round. So I think that plays a little part into it.
Well, I think it does, too.
And the basketball coaches don't really like their star players or, you know, their 5 guys to play football because of the injury aspect of it. And but, yes, I feel like a multi-sport athlete helps you all the way around. Football makes you stronger. Basketball makes you more agile. Baseball makes you more flexible. Track makes you run faster. You know, I feel like all of those tie into every sport.
Yeah. Look, you hear it every year around NFL draft time where coaches and GMs are talking about encouraging guys to play as many sports as they can coming up. I get specializing. If you're going to the NFL or the NBA or whatever and all that, look, we're not going to solve every situation. But right now, what Chuck's talking about, and I agree with, is we got to activate what we have if you want to be better at football. You got to do the best you can with what you have. And right now, we're not doing that from a financial standpoint. We're not doing that from a leadership being on the same page standpoint, connectivity. We've got a lot of things to fix. And this is what we said when Pittman was the coach. And we sat here and you came at us and you told us how we were just, you know, stumping for Pittman or propaganda this or whatever crap that. The truth is it's not just about who the coach is. And now maybe that obstacle that had your subjectivity all messed up and your objectivity completely messed up because you couldn't see past the head coach. Maybe now some people can see that. Maybe then when the athletic director comes out and says, yeah, we don't have the resources that we need to win, maybe you can see that. This was never really about Pittman. You can always evaluate a coach, but it's like half of the battle. There's so much more involved here. And that's what we're talking about.
You know, we've gotten a couple of texts in saying AAU basketball's ruined Arkansas high school football. It's not ruined it. It's made it more difficult to get the best players to play both sports. The idea that you're just going, well, AAU basketball is a problem, so we're just going to take it to the nth degree and say it's ruined it. No, it hasn't ruined it. It's made it a hell of a lot harder in some instances, but it's not ruined it.
Oh, yeah. You know, Nashville is where we go next. Bunch?
Bunch.
That's it.
What's up, man?
What's up?
Hey, this is Bunch Nichols. I am the athletic director here at Nashville High School, guys. And
All
I've
right.
been listening, so I had to call in, especially after Chuck told the truth on the air. And
Thank you.
And that's the thing about it. We love football in Nashville, Arkansas.
It's cool
a
in
Friday night
Nashville.
town.
It's cool in
cool
Nashville.
It's cool in Warren. It's cool in Arkadelphia. It's cool in Stuttgart. And I'm going from the smaller division. I'm not. It's real cool in Bryant when you got the athletes like those guys have. But I'm just telling you, Chuck's right on. Too many of these kids want to specialize. We try to have every one of our kids, because we're a small school, we have to have our kids play football. We want them to play basketball. We want them to run track, play baseball. But we fight it every day in just kids wanting to specialize in one sport or another. And that's the take on that. And I'm Arkansas Razorback, and I always will be an Arkansas Razorback. But I've been doing this stuff for a long time, and in Nashville, Arkansas, football is special. I want it to be the same way at Fayetteville, Arkansas, every day. And, you know, that's just my take on it. And I'm going to get off here and listen to you guys. I'd rather listen than talk to you, but I do appreciate you. I listen to you every morning. But I'm going to tell you this. Somehow, and I had 2 kids go to the University of Arkansas, and I am so proud of that. And they're just regular students. But I'm telling you this.
somehow, I don't know how they do it, and I don't care who the coach is. I'm really a Bobby Petrino guy, and I'm going to leave you with two questions. Number one, how many games does Bobby Petrino have to win to be the head coach at Arkansas? And number two, I think that we have to get some way, foundation-wise, some way, Houston Nutt back to join this state together and make Arkansas great again. And I'm going to let you go. Thank you, men.
Thank you. Bunch Nichols, the AD of the Nashville Scrappers, Chuck.
I didn't get a chance to ask him. I sent you guys that highlight of that defensive player for Nashville that intercepted that pass.
The big guy.
And stiff-armed that kid who's shoved him into the ground. That was a great highlight.
We got to take a break. We'll get into those questions when we come back, including how many games does it take for Bobby Petrino to retain the job. It's the Chuck and Bo Show. Hey, I'm sorry if this makes too much sense. I am more than happy to hear where I'm off on this.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
The voice of the Razorbacks is Chuck Barrett, and he chose McDonald Eye Associates for his recent cataract surgery.
I went to McDonald Eyes. I can see in a way I've not seen in a long time. And I'm looking forward to this football season because of that. Your eyes are a big deal. I don't care if you're a sports play-by-play guy or what you do. You have to have trust. My trust was developed because I knew they were listening to me.
For your best vision, trust McDonald Eye. Online and same-day appointments at McDonaldEye.com.
The Razorback Raffle is back. This raffle is a new and exciting way to support Razorback athletics, whether you're inside Razorback Stadium or calling the Hogs anywhere in the great state of Arkansas. Our inaugural raffle jackpots grew to nearly $500,000 last spring. Now you can be our next big winner, even if you're not in the stadium. Get your raffle ticket purchased to have a chance to win big right now at RazorbackRaffle.com.
Arkansas's one-stop automotive shop is right around the corner. Fayetteville Auto Park. FayettevilleAutoPark.com. Chevy, Toyota, Honda, Acura, Collision Center, all in one place. And if you're shopping pre-owned, Fayetteville Auto Park has you covered. With so many new cars sold, we always have a great selection of fresh trades. Why settle for anything less than the best? Fayetteville Auto Park, West Showroom Drive in Fayetteville. Proud sponsor of the Chuck and Bo Show.
Oaklawn is here for when you want the ultimate escape, all in one place. Check into the luxury hotel. Escape to Astral Spa, the only Forbes 4-star rated spa in Arkansas. Indulge at award-winning restaurants like the Bugler or the Oak Room and Bar, all before having the time of your life at the 24/7 smoke-free casino, where the energy goes all night. Here, excitement and luxury meet under one roof. Oaklawn Hot Springs. Join the fun. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
When something goes wrong, a car wreck, an injury, mounting debt, or getting denied the help you deserve, it's hard to know where to turn.
That's when Cadell Reynolds shows up. This is a team that fights for Arkansans. Personal injury, disability, bankruptcy, they handle it all. And they know how to get results.
You've got enough to deal with. Don't try to figure it out alone.
Call Cadell Reynolds, 866-314-3728, or visit CadellReynolds.com.
Cadell Reynolds, make the right call.
Cutting corners is generally a bad idea. And when it comes to roofing, it's real bad. That's why Teamwork Roofing and Construction uses only the best materials, like Malarkey shingles, which perform better, protect longer, and are more sustainable. Residential or commercial. Got a complicated job? They've got the certified crews ready to deliver on time and on budget. You need a roof that's built on quality and powered by Teamwork. Teamwork Roofing and Construction. Log on to teamworkbuilt.com and get a quote today. That's teamworkbuilt.com. When is the last time you thought, oh, the SEC's making an announcement today, and it's going to be good for the Hogs?
The Chuck and Bo Show.
You're going to be there, right?
Maybe.
Well, I'm saving you a seat.
I'm giving it the big maybe.
The hard maybe.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
All right, we got some stuff to get into, but let's take calls first. Rod's on I-40. Rod, go ahead.
Good morning, guys. How's it going?
Hey, buddy. Good morning.
Petrino is a good choice. He really is. And the main thing is commitment. And also, the teams that Sam Pittman built, they looked all right on paper, but they were fragile. One little thing, and I could go back to missed field goals and fumbles and just voracious calls, but they tended to go off into another world. And something like that happened, it would just evolve. So you have to focus. It's going to take Petrino a year and a half, 2 years to rebuild this thing from the base. You need to get players that can't be rattled. I'd rather have a 3-star that can't get rattled than a 5-star that just one little interception and he's off the chart. So,
we'll see.
Gotta get the check.
Yeah, let's just see how this goes. Let's see how he does with these players and how they react to his coaching. I wouldn't be so fast to say they don't have anything right now. Lane in Cave City, go ahead.
Hey, guys, how are y'all?
Good morning. Thanks for the call, by the way, Rod. Lane, go ahead.
Hey, I just wanted to tell you my opinion on your take a minute ago, Mr. Bo, on how you said there's so many other things going on in the background other than just the coach. I don't quite agree on that because, like y'all said, and Mr. Chuck, and just the truth, winning changes everything. So if you get a coach that can just come in and win a few games and change people's opinion, I feel like that changes a lot of that background stuff.
It sure helps.
I could be totally wrong.
No, it sure helps.
Oh, yeah.
There's no doubt
I'm talking
about that.
about how you win. That's my point on how you win.
But which comes first?
Yeah.
That's the hard part.
Yeah, I mean, you can go strike lightning and get something going. That's what I meant by how it happened with Houston Nutt. When he came in and the players happened to be just good enough, and with his inspirational style of leadership, it just worked for that team. And that was able to get everybody rallied in kind of quick fashion and excited about football. And then he was able to capitalize on that. But I'm not saying you can't win. I'm just saying if you want to take this thing to the next level, there are a lot of other factors.
Oh.
But, hey, maybe Petrino can, catch a little lightning here. We'll see. We've got the reset, and it starts this week.
When it comes to watching games, nobody does it like Walk-Ons. Over 60 TVs at every location, and the food and drinks win. Mouth-watering Louisiana cuisine like po' boys and gumbo, plus fan favorites like the best burger you can get anywhere, and more draft beers and cocktails than you can count. Incredible food, wonderful service, and a viewing experience like none other. Walk-On Sports Bistro. We live for this.
It seems like everything is more expensive this year, but replacing your AC doesn't have to be. If you need to replace your AC this summer, before you commit, price check with Paschal. You can save money and use the professionals to replace your system. Enjoy the peace of mind knowing you chose the best option for your home. Visit GoPaschal.com and with just a few clicks, see how much you can save with the Paschal Price Check. Paschal Air, Plumbing, and Electric.
There's simply not a better shopping experience than Macadoodles. Looking for the best selection of beer, wine, and spirits? Macadoodles or Guess Who in Bentonville has you covered. With an unbeatable selection, amazing prices, and service that's unbeatable, they've got everything you need. Whether you're stocking up for a party, updating your bar, or just grabbing your favorites, Roger and the team are always there to help. Make the smart choice. Macadoodles, just north of Bella Vista at the state line, and Guess Who in Bentonville.
Buying or selling a home's a big deal, and you want someone who is with you every step of the way. That's why those of us at the Chuck and Bo Show wholeheartedly recommend Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, because we've experienced it. They've been my partners for life. They're Bo's partner now, and I promise you, when you become involved with Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, they'll become your partners for life too. They've been turning houses into homes since 1978, and you can always log on and check out their selection at WeicherGriffin.com.
Chris in Fayetteville. You're on the news, weather, information station.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Hey, we're full service, baby.
The Chuck and Bo Show. Previously heard on Chuck and Bo.
Why we love a coaching search. It's because the outside world talks about us like we're a sleeping giant. It's the one time that people talk about how great we could be. We go from not winning, because anytime you have a coaching search, it's because you've not won. And then all of a sudden, just for a brief period, everybody's saying, that's a sleeping giant. They got all that money. And
So
just
true.
think about all the things they could be. And then 5 years later, we do it again. And that's just kind of how it's been.
The Chuck and Bo Bo Show.
I would resist the urge to drink this morning.
Stop. I'm done.
You said a lot of good things there.
Well, I don't know if I said one good thing.
I met a guy last night. Love y'all to death, Jeff.
You mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to
The show of record for Razorback fans.
I'm in my Sunday school, and first thing he says when we hop in the car, he says, "Let's turn on the Chuck and Bo show."
It's too early for this kind of conversation. I'm still half asleep.
Here are your hosts, Chuck Barrett and Bo Mattingly.
It's 8:02. It's Wednesday. Man, here we go. Tennessee in a couple of days.
Yeah. Travel Friday, play Saturday.
How has practice been different this week? The bye week and now in their first game week under Petrino, Quincy Rhodes, defensive lineman.
I'm going to just start off here. The tempo has definitely changed. It's a lot quicker. The periods are shorter, but they're quick pace. So, the coaches have done a great job with getting to the nail of things and being able to also focus on detail as well when it comes to coaching, the defense.
That's one thing you get with Petrino. I mean, it's going to be an efficient practice. It's going to be a certain tempo. They talked about the guys at the news conference yesterday about the pursuit to the ball, tap the hat. Everybody taps the hat of the guy who made the play or made the tackle. You end up at the ball. After the play, when the play is over, you end up at the ball.
There's psychology in that. For
sure.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
Coaching.
And, here, every coach has got to do it their way.
That's right.
Every coach has to do it their way. If you try to be the guy before you, you're going to fail. Lots of times in fact, most of the time, when you have a coaching change, the guy that comes in is going to do things dramatically different than the guy before him. That's probably a pretty good thing to do, given that the guy before you got fired. And we as fans, naturally, because it's different. Just because the old ways didn't work. So if this is different, at least it gives us a chance. All these things are good, and I'm glad they're doing all of them. Same way he coached before, same way he's coached everywhere he's been. I am interested to know or interested to see how they are defensively. Not do they hold Tennessee down because they're the top offense in the league, I guess. Or at least close to it. Nobody shut them down yet. So what makes us think Arkansas is going to go in there and do that?
Well, Arkansas,
but get a stop or two.
Go from being the last place defense in the league to somewhere else.
That's right.
And that's virtually every category: points, yards.
It starts with stopping the run. You got to stop the run.
Rushing defense, all of it. And can they be a little bit better? And again, Petrino trying to connect it all, then managing the game from an offensive and defensive standpoint as the head coach now. Does that improve the overall results? Again, this team was right there against Ole Miss. Can they get back to that and be a little bit better than that? Have a chance to compete in these games.
The thing I'd like to see them do defensively is not get gashed on the running game. You're going to give up pass plays. Coordinators are good. Quarterbacks are good. Receivers are good. Everybody's throwing the ball all over the place. You're going to give up passing yards, and you're going to give up touchdowns through the air. That's just the reality of college football now. But those teams that are getting gashed in the running game,
demoralizing.
Those are the teams, yes. They're
the whole team.
When you break the other side's will, when you really break their will, you think about some of the big wins Arkansas has had over the years. They just broke their will at the line of scrimmage. And by the third and fourth quarter, think of that Texas game where they rushed the field here, how they broke their will that game. That's how you do it.
To me, the Sam Pittman era ended when the backup quarterback from Memphis came in and got that conversion. That's when it ended. No, really.
No,
to me, that's when I think the body language of everyone involved just sort of changed.
Well, the game was over at that point.
A lot was over at that point.
Right.
But it was symbolic of just kind of like, I don't want to say they let go of the rope. That's what would be the cliche thing, the term to probably use. But that was like, how are we letting this team break our will? How are we gashing us? But then when you just need that one stop and the way that it happened and the way that it looked, completely demoralizing. And that's what I mean about in that moment, I feel like that's where it ended. That's when there had to be change because it was just so demoralizing.
It shows you the power of one play. Not necessarily to change a game, not necessarily to cost you a game or win you a game, but what it makes you feel like after the game's over, and the next day, and the next day after that, when you go back to the practice field. We talked about Penn State losing twice to Oregon. How do you process all these things as a team? If Arkansas loses to Tennessee Saturday, how do you process that coming home? You got 3 straight home games left. Is it, well, we're still not any good? Or, hey, we made some improvements here. We got 3 home games left. There's still season to play. All those things are going to factor in, and you got to find a way to hold it together, and that's easier said than done.
They need to be showing the UCLA game, the night before the Tennessee game, instead of watching a movie as a team. They need to watch the UCLA Rose Bowl victory over Penn State. By the way, speaking of other college football items, can we talk about Bill Belichick again for a second?
Please.
All right. I mean, we should go back.
He's taking a lot of heat nationwide now.
We should go back and play all the sound bites. But there's a sound bite from Belichick announcing to his team about the Hulu series they're going to do. Now, let's just give a quick little background here. NFL Films, which is the gold standard of the kind of work that I like to dabble in, Chuck, these documentary series we have inside the college football playoff. NFL Films has been the gold standard for years, right? Hard Knocks. Now they do Hard Knocks during the season, not just training camp. And NFL Films was going to do something with Belichick this year inside the North Carolina program. Did they dodge a bullet?
That's reality TV right there.
And then whatever happened. But weird things were happening. I don't know how much of it was his girlfriend or whatever. Whatever happened, and that went away. Then they get a deal with Hulu. Hulu's going to do a series on North Carolina's football season. Well, amid a 2-3 start at North Carolina, the team has scrapped plans for a documentary series chronicling the season with Hulu. According to a report from Inside Carolina, the series, which was set to follow UNC for the entire season, was actually UNC's second crack at a documentary of Belichick's inaugural college campaign. But earlier, the Hard Knocks thing went away, and now this has been scrapped.
I'm just speechless when it comes to talking about North Carolina football. I can't believe they've done what they've done.
Would Chad Morris have done better?
Wouldn't have done any worse.
I mean, I'm serious. What? Explain this to me with Belichick.
Well, he's a coach that had great success in the NFL because he had Tom Brady, and because we think as fans that, well, if he does it there, he'll do it here. They hired him, and I heard guys on TV talk, it's going to be a pipeline to the NFL. I mean, the players he's going to be able to get. Are you kidding me? I mean, come on.
Okay, well, let's take this example, and let's apply it to our own situation and our own conversation that we will continue to have over the next 7-8 weeks about coaches that Arkansas should hire. When you think that Arkansas should hire a coach, when you come up with a candidate, when you come up with a name, how did you arrive at that conclusion? And the point about Belichick winning all those Super Bowls, what did he win, 6?
Mm-hmm.
All 6 Super Bowls.
Tom Brady.
And you're going to tell me that guy can't coach, right?
Sure, he can coach.
Well, but the GOAT. I mean, 2 years ago, everyone said Bill Belichick was the greatest of all time. And he can't coach his way out of a whatever deal he's got going on.
He can't run a program, and that's what you have to do in college.
Bang.
Here's the bottom line. When, I remember doing the research when he was hired or heading into the season, he's a below 500 coach in his career without Tom Brady.
Yeah, and I get that. But that's also part of it. That's my point.
Right. That's what
that was part of it. But we can't also say that he wouldn't have won anything without Brady, but it was part of it. So when you go, let's go back to Petrino. When Petrino was great at Arkansas, these kids that Bart's about to name off came out of the state of Arkansas in one recruiting class. Go.
And not all of these are from Arkansas, but
okay.
But Greg Childs.
Well, give me the ones that are.
Greg Childs, DeAnthony Curtis, Chris Gregg, Dennis Johnson, Jarius Wright, Joe Adams, Tyler Wilson.
I'll put Mallet in there. He was on the Texarkana side, but or Texas side.
But I mean, those are your guys from Arkansas. You know, Tank Wright was from Memphis.
DJ Williams came like either the year before, I guess.
Yeah,
I mean, he was on that team.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking about 7 to 10 game changers, not just guys that could play in the SEC, but game changers.
And, you know, when we talked earlier about
that
Arkansas,
Houston Nutt basically got.
Arkansas Towns producing players. You don't have to produce 5 a year. I mean, you know, DJ Williams, some of these other guys. I mean, get one of them every 10 or 15 years. I mean, they'll help change your program.
So now what do you have to win? You got to be great in the portal. You got to do the best you can in state. But Belichick, like, to me, that's a great example of you really don't know what you're talking about. None of us do unless we really evaluate what it takes to win here and what the fit is and all that, which is why we get into the discussion of all the other things that are important, not just who the coach is and what kind of X and O guy is.
I've always believed a larger-than-life personality gives you the best chance to win. I know there are coaches out there that are not like that are successful, and I give them full credit. My personal preference, I like a larger-than-life personality. You look at North Carolina right now. What's happened with Belichick, that larger-than-life personality that they thought was going to be an asset has become a liability. And
well, he's got zero personality.
Well,
but he's a big figure.
But he's a larger-than-life guy.
That's right.
And that was supposed to be the asset. That was supposed to be what brings people in. It's turned out to be the biggest turnoff. You know, all this Jordan Hudson stuff, everything, the larger-than-life part has become a liability for them. And so you got to make sure that whoever you get, that doesn't happen.
Jeff is in Wesley, Arkansas. Jeff, good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, Jeff.
Hey, I just wanted to say I appreciate you guys' show. I listen every morning coming in to work.
Thank you.
And I wanted to talk about something that I feel nobody's talking about. We have the chance to make the trifecta. We got Dave Van Horn in baseball, Coach Cal in basketball. We need a big name hire in football. I don't know. John Gruden, to me, I feel like he could bring the heat as long as he doesn't bring some of the drama that he has. And I feel like we could bring a lot of talent in with him. But I think Mike Gundy's a good coach. But I'll hang up and listen. I just wanted to get you guys' opinion on it.
Yeah.
Go Hogs.
I just, there's so much there. But we'll get into that when we come back.
I think John Gruden, as great as he has been, would be – there are college coaches and there are NFL coaches. Saban couldn't coach in the NFL. I mean, some guys can coach in the NFL and can't coach in college. North Carolina's got one of them right now.
I like Gundy, but I just don't see Gundy. I don't as a coach. I mean, it's
go back to what we talked about earlier. You've got to have power brokers, money coalesce behind a guy before you ever announce him. That's how it's done now. The idea that we're going to hire a guy and then depend on the money to come in, I mean, that's all you're doing is betting. Arkansas didn't. They had the Cal thing lined up.
Here's the problem to me, when you talk about other coaches, is you're going to have to explain to me how they're a better fit than Bobby Petrino, because he checks so many boxes. When you fill out your
he's
criteria,
got the inside track. There's no doubt.
But you got to start there when you start naming off candidates. You got to start to me, it's like this, Chuck. Here's why this candidate is better than Bobby Petrino. Here's why he is a better fit. Here's why he will win more games than Petrino would. Bart's in the Chevy of Fayetteville Situation Room. We talked to him earlier. Chevy of Fayetteville has over 200 new vehicles on the lot right now. Chuck's beautiful Silverado. They got the Suburbans, the Tahoes, the Trax, the Traverses. It's not just about getting the right deal, getting a good deal at Chevy of Fayetteville. It's about the kind of people you're doing business with. And that's why they've been around for 25 years inside the Fayetteville Auto Park there off of I-49. Stop by and see our friends Chris, Mark, in Denver. You'll get taken care of. And if you buy a vehicle there, chances are you're going to buy your next vehicle there. Chevy of Fayetteville. Together, let's drive. 817. Good morning. You guys are part of my family. Everyone that listens to this show is just part of the Chuck and Bo family. We're building a community here.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Some moments call for more than just a win. They call for unforgettable. At Blakeman's, you're not just buying a diamond. You're creating an experience that starts the moment you walk through the door. Their newly remodeled space is absolutely stunning, and Cafe B has a personal touch you won't find anywhere else. Their in-house diamond expert makes it easy to find the perfect piece for any occasion, and that purple bag, still undefeated when it comes to saving the day. Blakeman's Fine Jewelry. It's more than jewelry. It's your story.
The voice of the Razorbacks is Chuck Barrett, and he chose McDonald Eye Associates for his recent cataract surgery.
I went to McDonald Eyes. I can see in a way I've not seen in a long time. And I'm looking forward to this football season because of that. Your eyes are a big deal. I don't care if you're a sports play-by-play guy or what you do. You have to have trust. My trust was developed because I knew they were listening to me.
For your best vision, trust McDonald Eye. Online and same-day appointments at McDonaldEye.com.
Oaklawn is here for when you want the ultimate escape, all in one place. Check into the luxury hotel. Escape to Astral Spa, the only Forbes 4-star rated spa in Arkansas. Indulge at award-winning restaurants like the Bugler or the Oak Room and Bar, all before having the time of your life at the 24/7 smoke-free casino, where the energy goes all night. Here, excitement and luxury meet under one roof. Oaklawn Hot Springs. Join the fun. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Cutting corners is generally a bad idea. And when it comes to roofing, it's real bad. That's why Teamwork Roofing and Construction uses only the best materials, like Malarkey shingles, which perform better, protect longer, and are more sustainable. Residential or commercial. Got a complicated job? They've got the certified crews ready to deliver on time and on budget. You need a roof that's built on quality and powered by Teamwork. Teamwork Roofing and Construction. Log on to teamworkbuilt.com and get a quote today. That's teamworkbuilt.com. Today's been it's been a strange day.
Yeah, we've had some struggles here.
Just
let's just be blunt. Can we be blunt?
Well, it's 50-50 at best.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
The Sphere, it's hard to describe.
I
know
wanna
many
go.
people
I wanna
people
go.
have gone.
Great.
I mean, the seats vibrate.
I've been places where the seat vibrates.
Yeah, well, that's not
not a concert.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
What to Watch is brought to you by Macadoodles. Today's Wednesday. You know what that means? 15% off every bottle of wine in the store, even if it's already on sale, just north of the state line in Bella Vista. I was in Macadoodles the other day. What a great shopping experience. They're so friendly, so many people ready to just help you
find whatever it is you're looking for. And they've got such a variety and such a great selection, whether it's wine, craft beer, beer, single barrel bourbon buys, allocated section. I mean, if you're planning a get together or a watch party, Macadoodles is the place to go. And don't forget to sign up for their loyalty points when you go in there. Over 20,000 customers already enjoying the rewards. Competitive pricing on all products. It's Macadoodles just north of the state line. And guess who? In Bentonville. All right, we got football. Edward was wondering earlier, is there a game worth watching?
Well, it depends how you define game.
Worth watching.
At 6:30 tonight, Missouri State is in Murfreesboro to take on the Fighting Derek Masons of Middle Tennessee.
Wow.
That's on ESPN2 at 7 o'clock.
That'll be a good one.
Liberty and UTEP. 7 o'clock, CBS Sports Network, Liberty and UTEP. Of course, Major League Baseball playoffs going on as well. You've got 4 games today. Starting around 2 o'clock, Mariners and Tigers, Game 3. Brewers-Cubs, Game 3. Or I'm sorry, Mariners-Tigers, Game 4. Brewers-Cubs, Game 3. Blue Jays-Yankees, Game 3. And Phillies-Dodgers, or Blue Jays-Yankees Game 4, Phillies-Dodgers Game 3.
It's best of 5 series, too.
Whatever.
So the answer to Edward's question is no. There's not a game worth watching tonight.
Yeah, whatever, man.
No, you did fine.
Major League Baseball.
You want to start again? You want to start again? You want to go back from break?
I really don't.
You don't?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Because I don't think anybody needs to hear about the Major League Baseball playoffs again. I said it once. That was enough.
Tell us what's wrong with Major League Baseball, Bart.
Well, I mean everything, but
Okay.
Can
you give us? Is it too much to ask to look ahead to the weekend?
No.
Do we have any big Thursday night, Friday night games in college football? Anything?
Well, there is a big Friday night game. Yeah, South Florida and North Texas. 24th ranked South Florida,
You can
undefeated.
throw out the records.
Undefeated North Texas. That's at 6:30 on ESPNU.
Hey, hold on. We got NBA preseason tonight.
Oh, good mercy.
Okay, I wasn't going to go there.
The Spurs and Victor Wembanyama take the court.
Oh, my God.
Year
Our
3.
resident Spurs fan.
We do have
That'll
a
be
good
fine.
slate of games on Saturday, though, in terms of college football. Ohio State, Illinois, Alabama, Missouri, Indiana, Oregon, Oklahoma, Texas.
Those are good games.
Georgia, Auburn, Florida A&M, Michigan, USC. It's some quality programming on Saturday.
Quality programming.
I wish those had been the games this past weekend
no
when the Razorbacks were open.
Question. Jerry Jones, thank you for the What to Watch brought to you by Macadoodles just north of the state line. And guess who in Bentonville? Very good job. Well done, Bart. Jerry Jones fined by the NFL for the middle finger.
Flipped them off. He
exactly
tried to do it casually. He was walking out. He tried to do it where only they would see it.
You ready for this? Yeah. Dallas Cowboys owner and general manager Jerry Jones has been fined $250,000 by the NFL for his inadvertent obscene gesture toward fans at MetLife Stadium on Sunday. Videos show Jones quickly flashing his middle finger. He said on The Fan earlier this week that he meant to give them a thumbs up.
Okay.
That was great.
It was
I got my fingers mixed up.
Happens all the time. Happens all the time.
I mean, listen, you could say anything now.
They're screaming obscenities at him down below, and he's going to turn and give them a thumbs up.
You know how coaches or teachers, particularly in grade school, middle school, high school, they'll be you could sit around in the break room and just talk about the stories that kids made up, why they didn't have their homework done, why they weren't at practice, why they were late, whatever it is.
Yeah.
I mean, that's got to be right there. I got my fingers mixed up.
Yeah.
I was trying to give him a thumbs up.
$250,000 though, just for flipping somebody off.
Hey,
and I know he's loaded, but that's a stiff fine.
I know, but still, I thought when I saw that, what's $250,000 to Jerry Jones?
It was probably worth it.
Yeah,
probably worth it. That guy had it coming.
Hey, that's an expensive finger mix-up. It really is.
Hey, Cowboys aren't winning that many games right now. You take advantage when you can.
Hey, the line has moved in the Arkansas-Tennessee game. 12.5 now at Oaklawn Sports. Don't forget to download the Oaklawn Sports app. Oaklawn Sports app, Arkansas's best sports betting app. Download it today, and new customers earn up to $1,000 in bonus bets. Oaklawn.com. Get all the details not only on that, but upcoming headliner entertainment at the Oaklawn Event Center. They got Whitney Cummings, comedian, there Saturday, October 25th. Concerts. Holiday racing season begins December 12th. They do it through January 4th, and they have the classic racing season that begins on January 30th. Whatever it is, you're looking for entertainment, Oaklawn's got it. What a great experience that resort is. Oaklawn.com to learn more. All right, it's 8:27. Is Bobby Petrino going to win his debut game as the interim coach, or is it going to be an almost always almost win situation, or are they going to get blown out?
Yeah, it's interesting how we've knocked around the coaching search and who it's going to be, and we've debated Petrino and talked about all his attributes, and some have talked about all his liabilities, and we haven't even played a game yet.
No,
we hadn't even played a game
had a bye
yet.
week. We had a bye week.
Had a bye week. But my point is that the discussion is probably going to change, good or bad, based on what happens on the field.
Reactionary. For 7 or 8 weeks here.
My guess would be a lot of what we say 2 months from now will be real different than what we're talking about
Edwards
right now.
keeping receipts.
I know he is. Edwards always keeping receipts. Look at
you may keep
look
track
at the
of
sticky
it.
notes over
yeah,
there.
well, he's got a whole thing. Anything that you've written down this week as some sort of definitive statement that you're coming back to?
From this week?
Yeah.
Not so far.
Wow.
You got season
There's been a lot
predictions
said.
over there. What's on the receipt list right now?
Well, I hate to admit it, but Brian from Ozark has the best looking prediction so far out of anyone.
Really?
Yeah, he said we're going to win 4 games.
Okay. So that's what you've got over there?
Gentle Ben said 8-4.
That's what you've got.
Chuck said you would be surprised if we don't average 40 points a game,
Wait a
which
minute.
we're on track for that. Nelson predicted 8-4. Chuck, you predicted Omega Blake will lead the SEC in receiving yards, which he's not out of the conversation right now. And then Bo made a bet with Big Keith, who is in the house, that Arkansas won't win another game this season.
Broke Keith.
Broke Keith in the
Broke
house.
Keith out of the house.
How you feel about my bet?
We'll see.
You don't think Arkansas, you think there's a legit chance Arkansas won't win another game?
I don't think that's going to happen, but
Edward, you need to make a bold statement that you can put up there on the wall too. Something that might be wrong.
I like to dabble in the middle.
I got you.
Oh yeah, that's a
I'm like the
and you do it
Swiss.
well.
Yeah.
And you do it well. Bart does not.
No.
Bart single-handedly forced a
He
QB
really
trade.
did. He did.
In the NFL yesterday, after absolutely annihilating Jake Browning.
Well, he brought the entire Bengals organization into question. And after something like that, I mean, you got to make a move, and that's what they did.
And he literally went off like on the air, just went on and on, like, I'm going to do this. We got to go back to Bart, like just going off on Jake Browning. I know we got to take a break, but it's worth it.
I don't know that I can subject myself to another Sunday of watching Jake Browning attempt to throw passes.
Do you get on?
I mean, he threw three picks last weekend, and they were 3 of the worst throws I've seen a professional quarterback make.
Well, hey, DJ Lagway turned it around. Maybe Jake Browning
No,
can.
he can't. He can't. We have enough there to know that he can't. There are better capable quarterback. Like, send the Giants a 7th-round pick and take Jameis Winston for a few games.
I knew Jameis Winston
There's no
was
way they would
coming
take a 7.
Okay, a
That's gonna
6th,
cost more than
whatever it takes. Like we got to tread water till Joe Burrow gets back. Our division's terrible. Like just find somebody who's competent.
It's
like
awesome.
competent. That's all we
He said,
need.
Can I get a Jake Browning interception prop that?
Seriously,
So I can make some money.
Set it at 1.5. I'll still take the over. The ownership, the front office, the coaching
Everyone.
staff has failed.
Oh. And it wasn't 2 hours later.
2 hours.
2 hours later, they're making a trade.
Breaking news, the news everybody's been waiting for. The Bengals have acquired a new quarterback.
Yes.
And it's within the division as they get Joe Flacco and a 6th-round pick from the Browns, of course, for a 5th-round pick.
Bart Pullman forcing change.
You can tell I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Buying or selling a home's a big deal, and you want someone who is with you every step of the way. That's why those of us at the Chuck and Bo Show wholeheartedly recommend Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, because we've experienced it. They've been my partners for life. They're Bo's partner now, and I promise you, when you become involved with Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, they'll become your partners for life too. They've been turning houses into homes since 1978, and you can always log on and check out their selection at WeicherGriffin.com.
Hey, it's Bo, and I want to share something that's completely enhanced my day-to-day life. About a year ago, I started telling you about the Sweatnum Edge. Well, over the last several months, here's what's happened for me. My energy level is completely different. My exercise gains have seen a big jump. My mind is clearer, and frankly, life is just more enjoyable. Now, that's my story. What about you? Search the Sweatnum Edge online and get a free evaluation today. It's made a big difference for me, and I know it can for you too. The Sweatnum Edge.
Particularly in the South, I'm not sure there's a title that carries more weight than coach. Maybe preacher.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
You need to run that tape back for me because that didn't happen. Don't come at me with that crap.
Don't come at me.
Yeah.
Not up in here.
Yeah. You must have your shows mixed up. Like, that didn't happen here, pal.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Bart's got another list we're going to go to in just a moment.
This has been a spirited day.
It really has. We talked about a lot of things.
We went
covered
deep.
a lot of ground.
Went
Spoken
deep.
from the heart.
Oh, yeah.
Spoken from
Touched
the heart.
the hearts of our Kansas.
That's exactly right. And I'll tell you, when we talk about Weichert Realtors, a Griffin company, we're speaking from the heart because we've been involved in it. I've bought and sold. Bo's bought and sold. And I mean, real estate's a tricky deal. We all think we know a lot about it, and then we talk to someone who really does. And at least me, I found out I don't really know as much as I thought I did. But fortunately, they do. Yep. And because that's what helps you get into the home of your dreams. It's not just about finding it. It's about getting in there. And, the best time to list your home, the best time to sell, maybe you got to sell. Maybe you think it might be a good time. Talk to someone who really knows. They're the ones that understand the market. And that's always important. That's what they do at Weichert Realtors, a Griffin company. They've been doing it a long time, too. They've been turning houses into homes since 1978. And they're all over the region. They're in Washington and Benton counties. They're in Fort Smith. They've got a great office in Branson. There are some great spots up around Branson. And you can always log on and check out their selection at WeichertGriffin.com.
Let's go to the Chevy of Fayetteville Situation Room. Bart, what list are you dealing with today?
I saw this interesting nugget about the 2017 Memphis football team. Okay, on their coaching staff.
Who was the head coach? Was that Norvell?
Mike Norvell was the head coach. His quarterback's coach was Kenny Dillingham. His linebackers coach was Dan Lanning, and his offensive line coach, Ryan Silverfield, who's now the head coach at Memphis.
All of them head coaches now.
All four of those guys head coaches, and all of them.
Two of them have been to the playoffs.
And all of them have been, wildly successful as head coaches. So, that got me thinking, as much as we've been talking about the recruiting thing and needing to recruit better at Arkansas and needing to hire a staff that can go get players, well, you've got to hire a staff of guys who are hungry to be head coaches too, right? And so you look back at Arkansas when Frank Broyles was the head coach. Hayden Fry, Doug Dickey, Barry Switzer, Johnny Majors, Joe Gibbs, Jimmy Johnson, Harold Horton. I'm missing a few, but those were just the guys off the top of my head who went to be head coaches, left Arkansas,
Hall of Famers,
and went to be and Hall of Famers. Okay, since then, and like all due respect to some of these guys I really like. Some are just starting in their head coaching careers. Keith Burns, Garrick McGee, Paul Petrino, Jeff Traylor. And then if you want to throw in, Gus, if you want to throw in Dow Loggins, those guys didn't leave Arkansas to become head coaches, but have been
since become
head coaches.
For Dow, many years in the NFL before coming back to college.
And not all those guys for Coach Broyles went from Arkansas to a head coaching job.
No,
but
right. But that's night and day. That's night and day.
Are you saying Arkansas hasn't had good enough
staffs?
Sam Pittman became a head coach later.
The most important thing, the most important thing a coach can do is put a staff together.
Yeah.
It's the most important thing he can do. Because if you don't do that, all these other things are not going to happen. Now, look, you can have a mix on your staff. Just because a guy doesn't want to be a head coach, just because he's a career assistant, doesn't mean he can't be a good assistant coach.
Right, that's very true.
And ultimately, a head coach has got to hire a staff that is going to help him coach his team. But when you read the list like that, it speaks for itself. I guess you want someone on your staff. I say I guess because I've not been there. I guess you want somebody on your staff that aspires to be a head coach.
I got a question.
All right.
So if Petrino becomes the full-time head coach, does Pittman get credit for Petrino being in his coaching tree?
Well, I don't know. I hadn't thought about that.
I don't know how that would work.
That's a point to ponder.
How jacked up is this whole thing?
Yeah.
Like, when you just think about it all.
Golly.
I don't know.
Hey, let's talk about Arkansas. Like we're like doing a national show. Why don't we talk about what's going on at Arkansas? And you just run the whole thing back. Let me tell you who the head coach has been since Bobby Petrino was there. And then you just go through all that whole deal and everything that's happened. And just kind of year by year. And this happened this year, and Bielema this, and then Chad Moore, John L. Smith. We'll start with John L. And then, Chad Morris, and then Bielema, and then Chad Morris, and then you just go on down the list. And then they bring Pittman back, and Pittman's like, I don't even care what you pay me. I'll just take the job. It was so bad. And then one day they hired Bobby Petrino, and they brought him back as the offensive coordinator. And then the whole Pittman era had to come to an end. And then here Bobby Petrino's back. And now they're in Arkansas arguing whether he should be the head coach again or not. How about Arkansas?
Sleeping giant. Sleeping giant. Making a lot of money.
I mean, it's just wild. You know what it is? It's college football. And all the other things that are going on around college football.
There's nothing crazier than college football.
I mean, it is wild. 877-377-6963. You want to text or call the show. You can get in here. Let's go to Mongo in Huntsville. Mongo. Go ahead.
What's going on, fellas? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's been a long time since I called in. The guy at Wesley a while ago, he has the right point about hiring a name guy, but he's got it wrong with Gundy, and he's right under our nose, Bobby Petrino. This guy is so smart. If we get him half the NIL money some of these other guys have, he can coach them up. I mean, you guys know, and Chuck knows for sure. Heck, I never missed a Catfish off show while he was at Arkansas. And, 21-5 the last 2 years, and you got the Mallets last year. We got screwed at Auburn with the 2 fumble calls, and you can say we got screwed in the Sugar Bowl. We should have won it anyway, but they had all those players that could have been suspended. But, I mean, this guy, he like him or not, he never looks like a deer in the headlights on the sideline. You can even say Houston Nutt a lot of times looked like a deer in the headlights, but this guy is smart, and if we get him the money, which I think they will give him at least next year, but we'll see. What you guys
think he can recruit and work the portal and get the roster he needs to win here, like if he were the full-time coach?
I think so. It is different with the portal and all, but if we get top half team, he can coach them up, but we can't be 15th and coach them up to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But,
I mean, here's another question, is how many coaches can do it if you have the resources you need? Like, does the group of coaches, does that group grow, Chuck, if you have...
Maybe so, maybe. But, look, we sit here and say, well, it's not just money. Well, Joey McGuire's a good coach at Texas Tech, but I mean,
was he before this?
Yeah, exactly.
Was he last year?
Yeah, was he a top 10 coach last year when Arkansas beat him in the Sugar Bowl or the Liberty Bowl? Well, no.
What you have to work with from a resource standpoint is to me like the starting point. But I will say what I do believe about Petrino is he really can coach. Is he the right guy to lead the program? And that's what we keep coming back to. Raising the money, getting everyone connected, being on the same page in our state, and then getting the best players and then coaching them at the highest level are all of the components. And I'm probably missing a few, but those are high-level components that you need to come together.
And
to maximize.
You have to have everything in a head coach now if you're going to get where you want to get to. You've got to have everything. You've got to have the whole package on the field, off the field. And it's all got to click, and it sounds simple, but it's not.
They've got the whole package at Teamwork Roofing and Construction.
They do.
All the quality materials and all the certified crews to deliver an install that is exceptional, whether it's an easy job, a difficult job, bad slopes, difficult slopes, metal roofs, malarkey shingles. They only use the best materials, and they've got certified crews that are second to none. And they communicate with you, and they leave a clean job site behind. If you're looking for a roof, or you've got a lot of projects, the custom remodels, I mean, they can gut a commercial building and make it what you need it to be for your next office. All of that is something Teamwork is built to do. Built on quality, powered by Teamwork. Teamworkbuilt.com. Teamwork Roofing and Construction. Log on to teamworkbuilt.com and get going today. Chuck has a little bit of a bad habit of getting on Facebook and buying things.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Man, there's nothing like a perfect steak. So tender, juicy, and packed with flavor. And now, thanks to Plainview Beef, it's clean with no hidden chemicals. Plainview Beef feeds their cattle with wheatgrass sprouts, and their beef is loaded with nutrients your body needs. I'm telling you, you gotta try it. PlainviewBeef.com. Order direct to your house. Check out their menu, which includes 6 8-ounce fillets for just $99. Again, it's PlainviewBeef.com. Use the promo code Chuck and Bo and get a free 12-pack of beef sticks. PlainviewBeef.com.
Flight by Yingling is the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling & Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
When something goes wrong, a car wreck, an injury, mounting debt, or getting denied the help you deserve, it's hard to know where to turn.
That's when Cadell Reynolds shows up. This is a team that fights for Arkansans. Personal injury, disability, bankruptcy, they handle it all. And they know how to get results.
You've got enough to deal with. Don't try to figure it out alone.
Call Cadell Reynolds, 866-314-3728, or visit CadellReynolds.com.
Cadell Reynolds. Make the right call.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly, local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
Are your gutters ready for fall? Leaves are coming, and that means it's time to protect your home. At Hog Trough Gutters, they install high-quality leaf guards that actually work. Don't waste money on the cheap guards from big box stores that clog up, and don't get stuck paying triple the price with those big national companies. With Hog Trough, you get the best of both worlds: professional installation, premium aluminum, and stainless steel guards, as well as a 20-year warranty. Give them a call today to schedule your free inspection, or visit hoggutters.com.
There's no better shopping experience than you're going to find at Macadoodles or at Guess Who in Bentonville. And every Wednesday is Wine Down Wednesday. 15% off every bottle of wine in the store, even if it's already on sale. But when it comes to selection, amazing prices, and unbeatable customer service, Macadoodles and Guess Who in Bentonville is second to none. Wine, beer, and spirits. Stock up for your next party, or just stop by and grab your favorite. Macadoodles, just north of Bella Vista, and Guess Who in Bentonville. So I spent yesterday. You don't mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to it.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
By the way, good morning. We just kind of jumped in, and we're coffee deep. And hey, everybody,
Morning, Bart.
welcome in.
Edward.
I smell the bacon cooking. It's going to be a good day.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Hey, feel better. Get the sweat and the edge. If you haven't looked into it, you're tired all the time, and you're just dragging, and you don't have the energy you once did. It's true. It can actually change. It has for me. I don't pound energy drinks like I once did. Feel better. Better exercise, better state of mind. I mean, when you feel better. And it's no fun to feel bad. The Sweat No Edge. Look it up. The Sweat No Edge. Stanford's feeling better. Philanthropist and former trustee Bradford M. Freeman has donated $50 million to the football program.
Not to the athletic program.
Nope.
The football program.
The football program.
So I just wonder if somebody came to a power, like an SEC school and said, I'm going to give you $50 million just for football. Would it go just for football, or would it go into the general fund and paying everybody? I don't know.
Well, I mean, if you earmark it, I would assume that they agree to
would
do
they
that.
let you do that?
John in Salem, go ahead. We got a minute, John. Go ahead.
So I was just listening to you talk about the coaches, especially the ones that are now Hall of Fame coaches, and nobody's coming. Are the coaches out there now that are like those that could bring players to Arkansas to play? And then my other thought is, because of the NIL, nobody's coming to Arkansas because we don't have the money to pay those players. There's the talent's there, but I just don't think there's no loyalty to college anymore. Nobody's coming like they used to come for those Hall of Fame coaches, or like when they went to Alabama and played for Saban, or they went to LSU and played for Saban. There's no loyalty to the coaches, and there's no loyalty to the schools anymore.
Yeah, it's a package.
I just have a hard time.
It's a package.
Well, but the coaches, the assistant coaches that Bart was reading off there, nobody knew necessarily they were going to be Hall of Fame coaches. I mean, I get your point on that, but I don't know that came into play.
Here's what players are coming for now. The coach does matter, but also the money matters. What's my environment, both how I'm coached and how much money I'm
They
getting.
want to be on TV because they've got a personal brand that they're paying attention to now.
Chuck will be at the Catfish Hole with Bobby Petrino tonight.
Arkansas's one-stop automotive shop is right around the corner. Fayetteville Auto Park. FayettevilleAutoPark.com. Chevy, Toyota, Honda, Acura, Collision Center, all in one place. And if you're shopping pre-owned, Fayetteville Auto Park has you covered. With so many new cars sold, we always have a great selection of fresh trades. Why settle for anything less than the best? Fayetteville Auto Park, West Showroom Drive in Fayetteville. Proud sponsor of the Chuck and Bo Show.